Stop talking about comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the Man of Steel. I'm gonna rearrange your face if you continue to debate whether Logan's claws could pierce Steve Rogers' shield. I just couldn't care less if they bring back Kraven. And I don't care if Spider-Man's a clone. Stop spending all our cash on back issues of The Flash, or I swear to God you're gonna spend your twilight years alone. You can call them graphic novels. They're still just plain old comic books to me. And I don't see why you must always ceaselessly discuss the post-zero-hour continuity. For the last time, I won't read those curvy X-Men. You know that I prefer the work he did for DC. And if you don't want to die, you'll lose that old Street Price Guide, Comic Buyer's Guide, and Wizard Magazine. But please get the new Invisibles for me.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasant Sunday evening. It's the perfect time for a brand new comic review, and I hope you're all quite excited for what we have on tap tonight. It's going to be Berserker 3. We've been following this series since its inception, and we're going to continue all the way up until the conclusion, keeping you up to date with everything new developing in that comic series. But first, let's jump into the chat and say hello to everybody who's joining us tonight. So, welcome, James Hayes. Thank you very much for being here. Hey, everyone. I hope you're doing good and feeling well. I am looking forward to hearing about this book. James, you're always very positive, so we appreciate that positivity that you bring to the chat. I'm sure the chat could use more of it, but unfortunately, there are dark forces afoot, so we'll see if they manage to overtake the tone of the chat tonight. Wilberforce Wooster, thank you for being here as always. Christopher John, wonderful to see you, and I like the new little avatar. It's pretty nice work. Amazing. I wonder if it's yours. Lorenzo, welcome. Hail and ahoy. And Jabba the Coach is warning us already. Something foreboding is afoot. Don't start this stream. He exclaims that he is from the future. Something goes horribly wrong because of this stream. It must be stopped now. And then, of course, the inevitable happens. This stream was written into the stars, Jabba. Nothing could stop it. So he's quite dismayed. And then he informs us that no, Smug and well-read fall in love and have kids. Jabba? Rabbits and pugs cannot crossbreed. I don't know what sick experiments you're conducting in your home, but that is nature and that is a fact, sir. I'll thank you very much to stop playing God in the chat. Jack Showroom is here. Welcome. I like the new avatar. Pretty cool stuff. Little Star Wars action going on there. Matthew Fowler, you love our song? That's great. I've successfully brainwashed you all to love that song, so my plan has unfurled successfully. Who else do we have here? Who else? Let's see. Earthmind, what's up? Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Mr. Yanafui, I haven't seen you in a while, so thank you very much for stopping by. It's great to have you. Ahmed is here, as always, so it's great to see you, Ahmed. Thank you very much for joining us. Jean-Luc Connery. I read this comic and I'm very confused about it. Set me straight. Oh, well, thank you very much for setting the tone for tonight. Now I actually have a line of questioning to follow for the reviewers. Yucky Gum, sup? It's great to see you. Thank you for being here. Jazz Crab is here. Thank you for stopping by. Just saying hi now before this puts me to sleep. Well, it's a good thing you got it in early because I'm sure it's already starting to help you to doze off. And Grain Council ran out of my medical marijuana, so I'm here to help me to get my Z's. Everybody needs to get more Z's. That's the service that we provide on this channel, so thank you, everybody. We're glad we can be of assistance, prolonging your lifespan. Spirit Scar, I avow Amit's statement. Amit is certainly trolling us at some point. So, an altercation, howdy. It's a great way to have you. It's a great to have you here already, and thank you very much for joining the chat. So with that, I will now bring on our reviewers. I think I've said hello to everybody, so please welcome Lightning Shine.
Yes.
And Peeg.
No.
So I think I sent my furnace over to Lightning Shine, and now he gets to have it next to him. So that's a nice thing when we can share furnaces on this show.
Yeah, I need a furnace. It's only like 102 degrees outside. So.
Forget about what's next to him. What's going inside of him? I recognize that PFP.
Do you?
That is the Immaculate Conception via lightning from Berserker issue number 2.
Some ancient medical procedure happening there. That's how artificial insemination worked in the Stone Age.
Apparently so. So how are you feeling, well-read, after Finatra's show last night that we both were on?
Oh, that was last night for you. That was this morning for me.
You guys are moonlighting somewhere?
Yes, we joined Finatra on a stream last night where he EFAP'd his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video that was taken down because he had a whole bunch of trolls raid him, and some friendly fellow decided to join and spread his butt cheeks on the camera.
I think it was multiple, actually, that did that. So
it's not an image I'll soon forget.
Glad I missed it.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles watch party. Unfortunately, it was derailed. So we'll see if he tries again at some future time.
He had a good strategy, though. He just started trying to bore the trolls with comic talk, and they did look very defeated. So at least we know if they raid our show that we're more than prepared to deal with them.
So the power of our show is spreading.
It is.
Velnet has joined us. Hey, Velnet, thank you for being here. It's great to have you. And Jazz Crab was apparently a fan of the mooning that was happening in Finatra's show. So,
oh, bad news. Tug is apparently doing a Johnny Depp live stream, so we're going to lose all our viewers.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, not Johnny Depp. Poor guy. Hashtag, I stand with Johnny.
I stand with Amber Heard.
You know, this might be a little bit of a spicy opinion, but I don't really give a fuck about Johnny Depp. I mean, he was the guy that told Trump voters they were all racist and inbred, and if you voted for Trump, not to go see Pirates of the Caribbean number 6 or 7 or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, I'm not going to jump on the cancel Johnny Depp bandwagon, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time caring that, you know, he's getting cancelled by his fellow cohorts in Hollywood. That might be a spicy take.
No, I'm with you there. I mean, he's another, you know, limousine liberal. He's got enough money to take a few shots from a crazy girlfriend, especially given some of his hot takes in the past. There's some karma there. I agree with you. So,
yeah.
But we do have something else that we could jump into before getting the review started. At the end of the last review, I dropped the ball. I did not invite the creators for the 2 books that we reviewed, and I typically do that. Unfortunately, I had a very busy week. But one of them did respond. He prepared a video with some comments about our last review. So we're happy to share that. He was very nice, polite, and gracious. And since he didn't have a chance to come on the show to give his thoughts and statements, we can show those here with the video that he prepared after our review. So,
oh, Blue Riddle responded to our review of Astro?
Oh, I hope so.
No, I didn't hear anything from Blue Riddle. This is from Chris T. About
this is just 2 minutes? Okay, we can watch that.
Yeah. So here's Chris T. Commenting on our review of Cluster Fudge from last week.
This music's rather ominous.
It sets up something foreboding.
I feel like I'm reading Clusterfuck.
My stomach is churning.
Okay, that's as I thought. You guys both disagree with that point.
So there you have it.
I just like to say I was correct and Smug Pug and Wiggle were wrong.
Yes, so in our review of Clusterfudge, Wiggle and I assumed that Clusterfudge had relations with the corpse of his wife, filmed it, and then watched it. Turns out he was sleeping with his very much alive wife and filmed it and rewatched it. So
Which
there is that clarification.
Not as nearly as creepy.
Yeah, it's less creepy to a quite large degree.
And I guess just a small clarification. I was actually comparing Astro to The Room, and I was comparing Clusterfudge to Crash as another example of an unsettling work that was celebrated. Jazzcrap says, just to clarify, I'm masturbating to this music, not the corpses of the chat that are bored to death.
Oh, that's good to know. That's acceptable. So that's a kink people can live with.
Yes.
I think there's only one problem I have with Chris's response to us, something that really kind of irked me. The part where he said he loves this show and recommends it to all his friends. Chris, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I have trouble believing that.
Interesting. Like, I thought maybe there was a turnaround because they gave it to the girl. I was like, it's probably not as dark than the sequel that presumably will be coming at some point.
Well, I actually liked Clusterfudge. I think I was the only one on the panel that had positive things to say about it. So,
I think Well Read was intrigued.
I was actually. It sounded like it was competently executed. I would look forward to a sequel. It's an interesting setup to a second story arc, I think. So, we'll see. Hopefully he'll announce something soon.
We have anything else to say? He just wanted to clarify. That's fine.
Chris has just doomed his friends. That's absolutely correct. All right. So with that, let's jump into our book of tonight. This is Berserker 3. Would either of you like to catch us up on where we've been since Berserker 1 and 2?
well, I guess it's been a while, but I can try. So this is the third issue of Berserker, obviously by Boom Studios. It's the crowdfunded book that raised, I want to say, well over $1 million. I think it's the largest one of all time.
With Crowdox, it's over 2 million now.
Over 2 million.
Yeah, Crowdox is essentially in demand, and through that, they're over 2 million now.
Yeah, and it was very highly successful. I think there was something like 750,000 orders of the first issue. But in issue 1, we're introduced to Keanu Reeves' character, the Berserker, or B as he's simply known. We watch him go on a mission in South America to basically assassinate a dictator. And we get hints that he's immortal and can regenerate, and he has a bit of a bloodlust. And then in issue 2, we delve more into his past and history, and we learn that he's, I think, nearly 80,000 years old. Moonshine?
Something like that, like somewhere around the dawn of civilization or something, or
Yeah.
prior to that. Although in the book we see something that I guess could be considered civilization.
And we also get more clues to his past, as he was impregnated by a strike of lightning, presumably by some kind of god, which is in Lightning Shine's profile picture there.
Yes, that way we'll never forget.
And he was basically created to defend his tribe from other tribes that are constantly raiding their village and doing what barbarians do, stealing the women, killing the children, looting, stealing animals. And his creation was a response to that. Other than that,
it's not very clear where this is supposed to be. His father looks kind of like a Viking, but his mother is kind of dark-skinned and curly hair, so it's not exactly clear where this is. Where his tribe was.
A new member of the chat, Hellrod, welcome. He asks, how do I refer to Berserker 3, or Eternal Warrior Volume 4, Issue 25? Do either of you remember the Eternal Warrior?
No.
Nope.
It's an old Valiant series. So
this
that
would be,
reference might be lost.
This would be Berserker Volume 1, Issue 3. Because there's 3 volumes to this. I think they're going to have 6 issues per volume. So we're roughly halfway through the first volume.
All right. So I think the last issue left us far into the past, and this issue now picks up where exactly?
Back in the past.
Back in the past.
So we were speculating where they were going to take this story, and if it was just going to tell a story of the Berserker through time. And it looks like some of our speculation might be proving to be correct.
Seemingly so. So this is still, as it says, 2 seasons after he was born. So he's going around killing the tribes that are attacking the village. And as you can see, he pretty much just massacres anyone that comes up against him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to say, I think we mentioned in Berserker 2 that, because I actually wasn't a very big fan of this art style when it was in the present day in issue 1, but I thought that the art style works a lot better in issue 2 in the past, and I still think that. I think this art style works really well for, like, you know, horses and spears and axes and blood and guts and gore.
I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like there was some improvement over the first 2 issues as well. But
yeah.
It was just because the images shown are more to the strength of this artist, who is Ron Garney, who apparently is a pretty famous artist.
Yeah, I've never actually heard of him before, but I think there is some improvement. I was pretty critical and harsh on the art in issue 1, but I haven't really had much to complain about in issue 2 or 3. Whether that's because it's set in the past and I think this style works better, or maybe because he's improving, I'm not really sure.
Matthew Fowler asks, seems like a low-effort Highlander knockoff.
I would say it's certainly influenced by Highlander. I think that's a fair criticism from Matt.
Well, they seem to be playing up a bit more of the mythical aspects of the character. His eyes are glowing blue here. So what aspects do they start to explore that's new for us, the reader, in this issue?
So in this issue, the crux is his father is... So he defends himself. So the first 2 pages, like, well, they defended themselves. But then his father's like, well, this tribe might come and attack us later. So his father is using him to just eliminate all these tribes that are anywhere near them now. So now it's, rather than defense, he's being used as a weapon to go out and attack all these other tribes. And it's kind of shown that he doesn't want to be this thing. Yeah, I guess they give him the name Anute, which just means tool or weapon, and he doesn't want to just be a tool or weapon.
Yeah. So there's a bit of conflict starting to form, especially between his mother and his father, and the Berserker, or Anute as he's called, which means tool or weapon. He's starting to question why he exists and if what he's doing is right, because his father's now encouraging him to go out to all these different tribes around the valley. So here we have the men of the mountains in the east, and the river dwellers to the south, the plainsmen to the north, and the colder climes to the west. And they're just unleashing this berserker upon all these surrounding tribes, with the explanation that, well, we need to destroy these tribes that surround us because they're a threat to our tribe. But I guess the berserker's starting to question all that, forming a bit of a conscience.
So then the crux of the issue is they decide to go very far away from the tribe because there's this city, essentially, which they don't really understand. They say this tribe's very rich, but it's essentially a city. It kind of looks like maybe ancient Aztec or something, even though it's in the icy mountains. So yeah, so they're traveling a long distance to go to the city to sack this city. And so not only do they just take over the city, they just kill everyone in it. And even just the innocent men and women and children. So it's kind of showing this it keeps accelerating what his father is doing. So there's just like the king, he's just sitting on his throne. Berserker comes in, kills him, but then he goes out into the city and just kills everyone in the city as well.
So it sounds like his father has some lust for power that he's trying to satisfy using Berserker. And this is a stepfather, of course.
Yeah, well, this is starting to give the impression that the father's using the Berserker to his full ability and probably taking advantage of him. But this tribe to the north that live in this city that he's attacking right now, they're described as being extremely wealthy, and the riches will help their tribe back in the valley. But the Berserker even asks, well, they're so far away, Father, are they really a threat to us since they're so far away? So the Berserker's beginning to question what he's doing, and it almost seems like this tribe, the Berserker's tribe, is now becoming the thing that they fought against. They're the tribe of raiders going around and sacking the other people and stealing their wealth.
Yeah, because this city is so wealthy, they probably wouldn't care about some valley, I assume 100 or more miles away over mountains. So there's almost no chance this city would have attacked them.
And is the Berserker showing any awareness that he's being exploited yet, or is he just going along with everything he's been told to do?
Well, I think it kind of brings that up because he asks his father, who is my real father? It's I don't remember you in the cave. So it's kind of showing this disconnect that he realizes his mother is his mother, but he doesn't understand how his father is. He still follows his father and ask him, am I doing good? But he's starting to question, well, who is my actual father?
Mm-hmm. We have some Ron Garney fans in the chat. Christopher John says he's brilliant. And Matthew Fowler points out that he had a good run on Daredevil. And Yucky Gum will be lurking, eating, and drawing. So enjoy all three of those activities, Yucky. And Christopher John also adds that Garney had a good run on X-Men, which I believe was quite some time ago.
So that's the major crux of the story. So right at the end of the past, they're traveling away to go somewhere else that sounds like the raid. And they look back and they see this lightning in the mountains. So it's kind of implied his mother has done something again.
I'm actually looking for that now because that's the only part that really left me kind of confused. Because, I can't find it now. Where is it?
It's at the end.
Oh, yeah, here it is, page 19. So, yeah, I didn't really understand what was going on here. Keanu Reeves turns to his father and asks, "Did you hear that?" And we see another strike of lightning strike in the caves, and the father says, "What has she done?" But then it just cuts to the village they're raiding, and we don't really get any answers to that. So I thought that was a little bit disappointing, because I would have liked to have had closure on what was happening in this same issue that was introduced. But I guess it's something that's going to be touched upon in issue 4.
Yeah, I think it was sort of playing off that his memories have holes in it, so this is kind of the way he told the story, so he didn't answer the question yet. Because after this, we cut back to the doctor, and she's talking to the archaeologist. I think he's the only character we got a name from in the first issue. What is his name? Stephen Caldwell, the head of belief systems and ancient technology migration. So I think she's talking to him. So after this scene, so she's cutting back. She says, well, he mentioned a second lightning strike, so that means if it happened twice, maybe we can repeat this.
Yeah, which I think proves what we were doing, what we were talking about in the first issue, where this organization that he's working for has other motives. Like they want to reproduce what the Berserker is, presumably to make more of these immortal soldiers that they could probably use. I still think that they're going to end up being the primary antagonist. They just haven't. That's what I think the story's hinting towards. I don't know if Moonshine feels the same, if we were speculating.
I'm still not sure, but it's definitely setting up some sort of conflict that they want to reproduce it, and it seems like she talks to him as a friend, but here she's almost just describing him clinically. And she says, oh, we're going to change the protocol. So if you remember the first issue, they gave him a pill after he goes in and kills everyone. There's a single page where he's gone in and done another mission, and this time he killed 4 of his own men. So now they're giving him 2 pills after every mission. So it seems like maybe they're trying to deaden him or something with these pills. Yeah.
So these pills are clearly how they maintain their control, or at least attempt to control the Berserker. And this page I thought was also kind of revealing to another theory we had, where it cuts away and he's doing a mission now in the present from where he was previously talking to the doctor about his past. But we don't actually see the mission. We just see the aftermath of it. So I do think that this series is going to continue along how we theorized in issue 2, where it's probably going to be like just snippets of the present, and we're going to spend a lot of time in the past getting the story of the Berserker, which I think was an interesting choice. I actually thought we'd probably get him more in the present day, but I think it's just going to continue basically exploring his past, and maybe in the final volume will be set up in the present.
So, I did want to ask one question. Does the mother show up at all in this issue advocating for him? Or is she pretty much relegated to the background and most of it is focused on his stepfather?
No, there's multiple scenes with her. So she has like a feeling of a mother for him, and she listens to his concerns. And she questions the father a little bit, why are you going to war? So she's not the focus of the issue, but there's a few pages focused on her and her son.
Yeah, there's like the relationship between her and her husband beginning to, I guess, come under stress, because I think he's becoming more ambitious and he's using the Berserker as like a tool and as a weapon to defeat these tribes and amass their wealth. And she's, I guess, she's more motherly. She wants the Berserker to be treated, like a son, like a human being, because as her relationship is kind of getting put under stress with the father, she's growing closer, I think, to the Berserker. And he's confiding in her that he's questioning what he is and what he's doing.
Okay. Well, we're 3 issues in. I guess we can try to gauge a little bit how the writing is for the story, because I'm getting the impression one of the themes so far seem to be that the issues we've reviewed so far have been pretty shallow, and story progression is incremental, Would you say that's a fair criticism? It's heavy on action, but not much in development.
I think this issue actually kind of is the best so far. So the first issue was almost pure action. It was like, as we said, like the opening scene of a movie. The second issue was a little heavy on backstory and just striving thing. This has a mixture of action and a story, and it's starting to set up actually some conflicts between characters, both in the past and the present. So this actually feels like we're starting to get into the meat of the story, although it's leaving us with a lot of questions, which I guess is to encourage us to buy the next issue. But other than that, I think this is probably the best one so far.
I completely agree with Lightning Shine. I've actually been pretty hard on Berserker. Like the first issue, I guess, yeah, I would describe it as shallow. There's nothing really there. If you like action and blood and guts and gore with pretty much no story whatsoever, like you could probably enjoy it. But it does feel like this third issue, they're starting to step it up a little bit now. We're starting to explore the character more and explore his past, and we're getting a bit more meat on the bones to what has been pretty shallow up until this point.
But I think this still goes back to what we've said since issue 1. Just wait for the trade paperbacks, because you get one more issue, you get the first 4, and I think that'll at least be a good introduction for this series. So I still wouldn't suggest buying these individual issues. It's probably not really worth it.
So it hasn't been a satisfying read so far, collecting each issue individually.
Well, I just think you're going to pay a lot more for it than you need to.
Yeah, definitely not. Because, I mean, look at, when was our Berserker 2 review? Was that like a month or two ago? It feels like...
Month and a half, yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of time between these issues. So, I don't know. Yeah, I if I was, like, had a pull list, I probably wouldn't have these on it. I like Lightning Shine said, I just wait for the trade to come out and read this all in one go. Since this has been, like, optioned for a movie, I think the way it's paced and designed is probably more suited to a trade than individual issues.
Yeah, I have to say this is the first issue where it's like I wouldn't see it directly translated to the movie. The first two is like, oh, you could really see how much this is being pitched to movie. This is actually feels very much like a comic book, though.
Yeah. If this was a movie, how many minutes do you think we'd be in? I think this would be like 20 minutes or half an hour into the movie, maybe, by issue 3.
It would just be like the end of the intro at this point, I think. Like the first issue probably be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long like a James Bond or any Indiana Jones opening scene is. That was the first issue. And I think the second issue the information might be divvied up throughout the movie, maybe not so right in your face right at the beginning.
Well, I'm just wondering, because this is like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be 3 volumes, like 18 issues. I just wonder how much like will have to be cut to fit into a 2-hour movie, but maybe they might be able to fit everything in.
Could be.
Well,
John Luke says this is 15 minutes in.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It might be around like the 20-minute mark, thereabouts.
Okay.
It's a bit of drama going on in the chat.
Yeah. Everything always gets spicy in the chat, so I guess
no one cares about our reviews. It's quite disheartening, well read, to review these comics, and we struggle to get 20 viewers, but then the minute blood sports happen, we get like up to 55 people watching. It's why do we even bother?
Yeah. Anyway, trying to keep it democratic in the chat as much as possible. So you can't always make everyone happy with that solution, but at least you can be fair. Okay. So satisfied with where this leaves off? Looking forward to more, or is there some dismay and hesitation yet setting in?
I would say this third issue is the first issue of Berserker that actually has me looking forward to the next issue. Like when I read the first, I was just like, it's okay. I don't really care for it. And I read the second, and I was like, it's a little better, but still not really interested. This issue piqued my interest just because it's it's starting to set up conflict, and we're getting deeper into his past and learning more about who he is and how it's reflecting on the present day, like the killing of his own men on his team, and this organization starting to admit that what they want is to reproduce this immortal super soldier, setting up for what I think will be the primary conflict that he's going to face. So yeah, I'm starting to warm up to Berserker a little bit. I agree with Lightning Shine. I think this is the best issue. It took 3 issues to get in, but I'm starting to get a bit more interested in Berserker.
I felt even after the first issue it had quite a bit of potential, but I mean it was more of it has a potential, but it didn't really have anything yet. Here there's something here, and then it sets up what presumably will happen the next few issues. So I think it's hit its stride now, and you're looking forward to something rather than just possible in the story elements that you're not certain of yet.
Jean-Luc comments that it's too contrived and obvious, and it's pushed for a film deal.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but
I think it's obvious that they always made this with the intention of trying to option it as a movie, to be honest.
The most obvious thing is the character's drawn as Keanu Reeves. That's the most obvious.
But I have to admit, after like reading these few issues of Berserker, like when the movie comes out, I probably would go to the movies to watch it. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves, I like John Wick, I like action. I'd probably say that maybe this story would be better suited for a movie, like like a 1.5 hour, 2 hour movie of just non-stop action. I think it would work pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they probably didn't know if it worked, so it's like, well, let's see how well we can do in crowdfunding and Boom Studios, and obviously this is a smash hit in both crowdfunding and just selling in the comic stores. So that probably generated enough interest with Keanu Reeves being involved. So
everybody loves Keanu.
I did see an interesting comment from Thelned, if I can go far enough back, about Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay, Coppola's Dracula. Supposedly he wanted Depp for the role of Harker, but the studio insisted on a bigger name, Keanu. Yeah, even back then, everybody wanted Keanu, so...
Yeah, right. That was probably around the Matrix time. He was big news then, and then he kind of went down a little because people said he couldn't act, but then John Wick really has brought Keanu back into the mainstream again.
I like Keanu Reeves. I'm glad he's back in the spotlight again. He does deserve it. I actually don't really like The Matrix either. I guess that might be
I don't
a
like The
controversial
Matrix
opinion.
at all.
Yeah, I thought the first movie was okay, but overrated, and the second 2 fucking sucked. But I still like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I think he's...
I think John Wick is very well done. He's the perfect actor for it.
Yeah, John Wick is far superior. So I'd like to see Berserker when it comes out in the theaters. I think it'd be a good experience. The comic book, I mean, not so much. I mean, it took 3 issues to finally get me to even have a slight interest in what's going on. If I was buying this in the comic book stores, and we weren't doing this review show specifically to read it, I honestly probably would have dropped it after the first issue.
Jack Stafford said, and again, I have to... Okay. The reviews are important. It's like the main meal, and the blood sports are the dessert.
I feel like when I get bored by Well Read, I get to read the chat. It's reverse blood sports. We watch you chat have blood sports.
I feel like the review is the appetizer and the blood sports are the main meal.
Richard Cahill says Dracula was before The Matrix.
Oh, okay. That's... I mean, there's obviously Bill and Ted, but what was he doing that people wanted him then? Huh.
Point Break, wasn't that a pretty big movie?
Okay.
With Keanu Reeves.
Speed.
Other than that.
wasn't
Speed. Yes, there
Speed.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't act... Speed's okay, but he didn't act very well in that movie.
No, I guess not.
That was the knock on him. Then it's like he can't act.
Right. for some reason, that was the perfect credential to have him in Dracula. So, I don't know. So did we want to do scores for this book?
No.
Yes.
Go right ahead, Peak.
Well, I think I gave the first issue of Berserker, like it scraped by with a 6 for a recommend to check it out, and I think I gave the second issue either a 6 again or a 6.5. This one I'm going to increase to a 7. I think it's starting to come into its own now, and this is the best issue I've read so far. I mean, it had the perfect amount of action, it had the perfect amount of backstory, we're starting to learn more about the character, but yeah, it's just a shame that it took so long to get this far into before I'm interested in it.
Apparently, Jean-Luc is someone who actually leaves after the review.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone should leave before the review.
I mean, sometimes we just have general conversation afterwards, Jean-Luc, but it's difficult to get there.
It's either blood sports or physics, John. You can't win.
Risey and Ray got along really well if you lasted that far into the last stream.
That was interesting. Definitely.
Yes.
Lightning
So,
Shine, is this a gradual improvement for you in this series?
I mean, I already said it's the best of the three.
Yeah, okay.
There's not really more to say for a general review than that.
What are you more
Sure.
looking forward to, Lightning Shine, Dune or Berserker?
Well, the problem with Dune is I know where it's going to end, whereas Berserker I don't, so that gives it the edge right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Amit Rayner says, why is this dumb pug talking? He is not trying to lick his wounds after he got fixed. This fucking guy has been going around to all the chats telling everybody I got fixed. My nuts are still firmly attached, Mr. Rayner, and none of your goddamn business.
Ahmed is fascinated to know these details.
So do we want to switch topics slightly?
Yes. So
Sure.
today we'll do a quick review and have a brief impression given to us by Lightning Shine for a book that he's been wanting to talk about called Shadow Century. Here is the campaign.
Yep, there you go. If you could maybe scroll down. Okay, there we go. Actually, scroll down to one of the covers. That's the first page.
Okay.
More than that, it's black and white. Unfortunately, it's got stuff in front. It's in a description, and then okay, you're gonna have to scroll down, and then there should be 4 covers.
Is this it?
Those are pinups. No, keep
Okay.
going. There you go. There's some covers.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
$4.99 will come when we can get a second to review $4.99. 2 people asked that right in a way. I have read it. I have opinions, but so far only I have read it. So Shadow Centuries by Eric Ninlitowski. I might have got that name a bit wrong, but so this was when was this? About a year ago, I think. He fulfilled essentially on time because you can see it's May 2021. The campaign ended officially April 2020, so it took him about a year to get this out. It's 54 pages, and I guess the synopsis is it's sort of like it's a team-up superhero book, but it's not because they're mutants or they were in a space accident. You have essentially people that die and come back from heaven or hell, and they have powers because of this. So it's kind of a twist on the superhero with kind of a religious overtones added onto it. So I think they're called Highborn and Heavenborn. So I think the concept is, I don't know if someone else has ever done anything like this. It's slightly religious, but it's not trying to hit you over the head with like a specific Christianity ideology. It's just kind of lightly Christian, I'd say. So if that really offends you, you might not like it, but I think it's not too overbearing.
Well, what attracted you to back this book to begin with?
Well, I would say the art actually looks really good. Yeah, if you scroll down, I think there's some pages, the first few pages. So I think that's his art. and then they has 4 other arts. But if you scroll down,
It reminds me of Extreme Studios art.
yeah. Speaking of extreme, that's some extreme running.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
surprised they haven't fallen over. That was the only thing I noticed, because in the intro, it's in the past, everyone's running away from each other, so you get all these shots of extreme running, which is, it's not horrible. It's just because you see many panels of people running and they're nearly tilted over because they're supposed to be running fast. So the setup is this guy who's noble, and Valora, I think her name is. She's hellborn, he's highborn. They've had a child together, and now they're trying to escape from the evil side. And that they want this child because it almost never happens that these two sides have children together. So he's trying to escape. He defends himself. She runs ahead, and she thinks she's going to get caught, so she drops her child off at a church or something like that. It's St. Augustine Sanctuary for Boys is where she hides her child. She dies, they capture him, and that's the past. So that's fine. I don't have too much trouble with this part of the story. And then you go over to like the evil mastermind Lord Marcion, I guess would be how it's pronounced. He kind of looks like Mumra. He's essentially a vampire. And he speaks, over the top evil things. And I think that's fine. I would say the problem comes in. So now you skip to the present. So obviously you follow this child whose name is Jean Augustine. So he's named after the church he was left at. So he's like in and out of juvie. He's kind of supposedly gets into trouble, but it looks more like he just likes to run away a lot. And it just gets a little bit too complicated, I say, because you got these various groups, and it tries to explain all of it, and you have a team, and it tries to explain every character's abilities. So that's fine and all, but I think I'd compare it to Brand, where Brand had to try to tell you all these story elements, and it's way too much. Here it's just slightly too much. I think some of these elements could have been left to the later part of the book. Does that villain have cornrows? Yes, I think he does.
Did you enjoy this more than Brand? Because
Oh, definitely. Easily better.
okay, because I despised Brand.
I say some of the dialogue is a little corny and hackneyed. There's one point where Noble finds out that his son is still alive, and then there's people talking to him, and they just talk cliches at each other. It's like, well, this dialogue could be improved a little bit. There's a lot of kids talking at each other. I think it's okay. I will say there is a lot of writing in the book, which is kind of unusual because Eric did pretty much everything for this book, and he's trained as an artist, so the writing is kind of something he's trying out, which I think he did a pretty good job for a first effort. But I would say cut back some of the backstory. You can keep it. You just don't need to tell the audience everything all at once.
Now, is this purely just an action book, like say Berserker, or since you mentioned there's religious themes, does it touch on some deeper themes in the book?
Well, not to spoil it too much, but the kid, he like falls off a bridge and like presumably kills himself, so he wakes up in hell, and so he's revived because it looks like an angel has saved him, but like the hell has tagged him a little bit, so he's being batted back and forth by both sides trying to get him, but he doesn't really know what's going on. He kind of just sees what he experienced in hell as some bad dream. Yes, that Eric Nevik. Yeah, and there's a Matthew Weldon cover. There's Kevin Sharp. So I would say the dialogue can be decent to a little bit hackneyed. The plotting needs some cleanup. There's too much introduced. Like there's a group of highborn that are in London, which somehow Robert Noble is visiting. Even though he was captured in the past, we never get to understand how he got freed. So I think some of the things could be left out. You could just have characters mentioning them. But I think the best part actually might be the villains. They're pretty interesting. And then the question is, do you think the superheroes are original enough? One of them kind of seems like Cloak from Cloak and Dagger. There's no like one-to-one correspondence like Wiggle and I when we did Sea Dog, where it's like, oh, this is just this character. It's like, well, they have some abilities of these 3 or 4 characters, and maybe they don't have as much powers as others, but it seems pretty unique for what he's done. And I think for a brief overview, that's about all I have to say for it.
I noticed that Spirit Scar had a comment. He said, listen to these guys, Amit trying to eloquently describe a shit sandwich.
Well, I'm not trying to describe anything. I actually, I didn't back this book. This was one of the books that we were considering reviewing, but I don't know. I just can't back everything. So Lightning Shine's just giving a quick impression of it now. I mean, is there anything that stands out about it at all? Like, or is it just another team action book, which I think Comicsgate and the crowdfunding sphere has just been flooded with, really? Is it just another Jawbreakers? Does it do its job better than Jawbreakers?
Well, the problem with Jawbreakers is that's trying to really have the military aspect. This is more of a straight up kind of superhero stuff. It seems they have some tones about, the religious kind of charity type things to it. I don't know, it looks really good. I think the story, we haven't gotten into it, but I think in terms of X-Men, but this does a much better job than Graveyard Shift, even though we haven't reviewed that yet.
I'm looking forward to our review of Graveyard Shift,
Yeah.
because I have a lot to say about that book.
I think this has at least an interesting premise, and the characters aren't so hackneyed and just blah. At least the characters seem interesting. I think there's too many characters, but I think this has potential.
Okay. Any thoughts, Peak?
I like the art and I like the coloring, but yeah, when I was considering backing this, because we were looking for our books to review, I think several weeks ago, and Lightning Shine suggested Shadow Sentry. I don't know, it just didn't really stand out to me as anything special. It just seemed like another one of these books that we've seen like so much of, like good art, but not really a good concept or a good story from what I was able to see. But I don't know, maybe when issue 2 comes around, if there's a double pack, might pick them up and we could do a proper full review. I noticed Phil had posted a link to a issue 2 sign-up page, so I might check it out.
There's a
Maybe.
digital copy, I think, as well.
Yeah, they did sell a digital copy with this, but I don't think you can pick it up. But maybe if you contact Eric, you could snag it somehow.
Did you want me to show some of the pages that you shared?
Oh, yeah, I guess there was some, like, I was going to point out some complaints. So if you go to the first one,
Okay.
this will be a standard complaint. But this time it'll be a man. Zoom out, you're really far
I'm
right.
not able to. For some reason, this is the default view.
Okay, so this paneling, I think, is very good. So it's essentially them walking down into the depths to meet the main villain. The problem with this is this guy that's been captured, that's going to be one of his minions, he talks a lot. It kind of ruins the scene, I think, because he just, I mean, I guess this maybe is supposed to be his character. He's very talkative, but he's just talking to himself this whole panel. And this is one of the points where the writing probably could use a little bit of work. But the art and the paneling, I mean, there's good creative design in this page.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the second page, I'll bring that up.
So this is the team, but in street codes. There's a couple of characters missing, but this is essentially the main team. So you have what is his name? Brazen, I think. Let me get the names. So the problem here is like you kind of pick out who is kind of being correspondent to another. Yeah, so his name is Brazen. That's the main guy. He's actually kind of dressed as he typically looks. You have Glare, who controls light, so that's kind of like the Dazzler type. But it doesn't actually, like, shoot it. It's actually just physically light. You got, I think, what is his name? Let's see. Ganon is just a guy with guns. He actually has no superpowers. Kojin is kind of just the tough guy. And then Deke he's a flyer, but he uses gravity. He's not just that he flies. He's more of like controlling gravity. And then finally you have the characters that's essentially Cloak, as far as I could tell. I mean, he doesn't absorb people into himself to attack them, but he kind of just moves through things and he teleports people. So, I mean, it's up to you if you think any of these characters are original or not. Part of the problem is when you have a team, you just can't really focus on a character and see what makes them unique. That's, I think, always the problem trying to make a team book.
Yeah, to be honest, from what I've read from most team books in crowdfunded comics, I'm instantly turned off by any book that now describes itself as a team book. Just because, Graveyard Shift and Jawbreakers, they were both touted as team books, and without expressing too much thoughts on them, because I'm guessing we'll save that for when we do review the Graveyard Shift series and the Jawbreaker series, it didn't leave me too impressed. So whenever I go on Indiegogo and I see a book and it's like, oh, it's a team book, it's an exciting new team, I just kind of roll my eyes because I've had nothing but bad experiences so far with these so-called team books. I think it's better just, especially in these early stories where you're introducing characters to us, is just to focus on your main character and maybe drop hints at extra characters with cameos and build up to it, build up to your universe and your team.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine if you just had these characters and the kid they're trying to get, and the villain's fine, you can have villains, but there's like even further characters, and I think there's a little bit too much. I mean, it's 54 pages, but even for that, I think there's just a little bit too many characters introduced. You can start small and then have them refer back to other people, and then issue 5 or whatever you go into the Citadel, which is where all the best of the best apparently are.
And team books are notoriously hard to write, I think, is another issue. I only know of a handful of writers that can actually do it successfully. So. Yeah,
and Abbott's right. It's Jubilee is light. Dazzler is like music. I was thinking that's not Dazzler. Cloak and Dagger. Dagger is like light weapons, I think. She's not a mutant, though. At least I don't think she was.
This review team is the worst team in CG.
That's a fair call, Jabba. I'm not gonna debate that with you.
And Velnut says Jubilee is fireworks and Dazzler is light. Yeah. I get confused about the X-Men, and there's too many for me to keep track of.
Yeah. Character overkill. Okay.
So I guess we should, if we're going to finish this quick impression, Lightning Shine, would you recommend this to a friend or to the viewers?
I mean, it depends. It needs some work. It definitely looks good. The art is consistent. It depends on how much you like to read. There's a lot of writing. There's a lot of backstory. So if you want to get into a world and check it out, you can try. But it's up to you.
Sounds like there was...
And this isn't $25. It was $20, so you did save a few bucks compared to some of these.
The thing is, when you're paying $25 for a book and then shipping for $15 on top, you better tell me a story. And you better have something in it to wow me. Average doesn't cut it. Yeah, I think that's the problem with these books.
I certainly have something that will wow Mr. Hayes. And an interesting new topic. So last night on Finatra's stream, I was made aware of this campaign. It's called The Blue Bombshell. And it's by Clint Hilinski, who I think was the artist on Pirate Queen. And I think Wiggle Wiggle and Lightning Shine's favorite writer in CG, the writer of Graveyard Shift.
Oh boy.
is writing it. But anyway, it's called The Blue Bombshell.
He's
And-
writing it, not drawing it.
I think he's writing it. It's only what I heard on Finatra's show. But this is following a new trend I've noticed in
So it's a
Comicsgate.
blue power girl.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up because I wanted to show some images with you. But it's another team book. It's also another risque book following Astro and I think Dame Gang. So we have our censored cover there. But what I wanted to show you guys was something that Matthew Fowler quickly identified last night. Was this team?
Oh no!
Let's play Spot the Not Hero. So this guy in green here with the visor, who does that remind you of? Lightning Shine or Well Read?
Booster Gold.
That's Booster Gold. This guy in the background here with the dragon.
Is that Batman?
It looks like Midnighter a little bit.
Yes.
There's She-Hulk, that's obvious.
There's She-Hulk.
There's the Thing, and whatever his name was in Tundra and Sea Dog and Codename Killswitch. He's just copying his own characters.
It looks like Darkseid's face, with the Thing's body.
Yeah. That's kind of what
Mr. Majestic without the headpiece from Wildcats.
Okay. We have a generic Superman clone, I guess, maybe here. And this one looks like a cross between, I guess, Wonder Woman and Supergirl.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. It's like, at least Shadow Sentry, he's trying something. They don't just look like a color swap of character, At least there's some originality put into it.
Mike and
Knight,
James Hayes have it. Black Knight, yeah.
Oh, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mean to throw any shade at anybody, but when I saw this, I was just like, "Holy crap!" Like this seems like they're not even trying anymore. Like it's just straight up taking.
There's no anymore with this particular artist. This is the way it's been.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's the Blue Bombshell. Check it out. Maybe it might be your thing. It has boobies.
That's even Power Girl's typical hairstyle, right?
Yeah. And this green-haired woman, I'm kind of getting like a Black Canary vibe, maybe not so much.
I don't know. Maybe Black Cat, I was thinking, but yeah. There's not enough clothing to actually say for certain.
Oh, look, there's even some naked chicks below them with like a Nazi or something and a tied-up woman. There you go.
Oh no, those grabby Nazis.
Jeez.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just
yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the artist, not the writer. The writer probably wouldn't go into something like this.
I'm just trying to confirm whether it is written by Mark Polton. That's what I heard.
I'm almost certain it is, and I think this is just Clint's book.
Okay. Well, I apologize to Mark for tying his name to this. I can't seem to find it anywhere. That was just something I heard of someone else.
Yes, Vicky, that's what we're pointing out. Oh, it looks like we have Tim Lim in the chat as well.
Hello, Tim.
Oh, the Bundle
Welcome.
Dome. Black Hops X Carmen America is a great deal. $10 for 72 pages, hardcover, delivered in August and September. You don't need to sell it to me, Tim. I've already backed it. I back all of Tim and Mark's works. I guess it's no secret that I'm a pretty big fan of the Carmenality universe.
We have another.
If it comes to Indiegogo, I might check it out.
There's always a Indiegogo campaign after the Kickstarter.
I'm never in a rush to be the first to receive it, so I'll just that way I don't have to make multiple accounts.
Oh, it looks like we have someone in the back room with a very strong opinion.
Yeah, we have another person who backs a lot of books. Welcome, Amit Reina.
Thank you, Well Read. See, I'm glad. People. Did you like the receipts I posted into Discord, Well Read?
Yes, I did notice those. That was a pretty sweet own on your part.
It's okay, and that's only that's just the first page. I have 7 pages on Indiegogo. But anyway, moving on to more interesting points. Did is anybody? I was gonna ask you guys, are you gonna do a review show of all the comics that are in demand that haven't been fulfilled yet? I think that would be very interesting to go through.
How can we do a review show for comic books that haven't been fulfilled, Amit?
Oh no! As in the thing, you go through Indiegogo and you looked at all the comics that are not fulfilled yet, and the
I mean,
comics.
it's not
What
really
people-
our thing. There's other people that probably would suit
Yeah,
that better.
That sounds more like a Vicky and Dean thing. I think if you missed their stream last week, Vicky ran the numbers and said there was something like seven. I think it was something like 7.8
7.5,
million.
yeah.
$7.5 million tied up in unfulfilled Comicsgate crowdfunded books, which is quite a staggering number.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's Ethan, but like even that, it's 5 million, not counting Ethan.
Yeah.
So, are you saying we have how much? I wonder. Maybe Smug Freeze has the numbers. How much in this year has CG made fulfilled projects?
I think it's half as much as they made so far the previous year.
Yeah,
That's what I think I
like,
saw Mr. Duck.
Yeah, this sounds like something you could go to Kiwi Farms and find out, or Vicky and Dean's channel. Where does the humble review show here, Amit? We just talk about comic books here. We try to avoid the drama.
Well, this is numbers,
That's not
not
true.
drama.
Yeah, but it's called consumer advocacy. I think that's what it's called.
Consumer advocacy. I remember what happened to the last guy who named himself Fan Advocacy. He had a rough time of it.
Yeah. I think him and Comic Book Hut are now in the same. They go on each other's streams and enjoy themselves.
Vicky said she put something in the
I put the
recycle
clip
bin.
in the recycle bin playlist. It's not a lot, Ethan.
I think
I think she's saying a lot of it is not Ethan.
Yeah, okay. I think there's a word missing there. I was like, I'm not quite certain what that means.
Yeah, if I remember correctly from the video, I think about like around just under $2 million is tied up in Ethan's campaigns, but that still means there's like, $5.5 million of other people's campaigns that haven't been fulfilled yet either. It is a lot of money, and it might explain why Comicsgate's crowdfunding so far in 2021. I mean, it's been pretty lackluster. Other than the Graveyard Shift 3 swimsuit variant, I can't really. Was there any other 6-digit campaigns or?
Ethan got Creed over 100,000, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that wasn't this year. That's technically started last year.
No, I think Creed started this year. Snowman started last year, I think.
Last year, right?
I mean, I can bring it up. Mr. Dongs is always sharing this website. I just need to find it.
Well, I don't know if we decided what we want to review next. Well, we decided, but we didn't. What's going to actually be next?
Yeah, there's a couple of choices.
Can I suggest?
Well, I thought Starblades was going to be our next review.
Oh, that's fine if we want to do that.
Could you?
I didn't think I was going to get it so early, but I received Starblades yesterday, so.
Our friend of the show, Twitlish's comic, because I got it in my free mailing service yesterday, so I should be getting that physical copy next week for free.
So here we can see this website. I don't know who runs it, but I just noticed Mr. Dongs is always quoting it and sharing it. It's tracking the amounts from all the campaigns from Comicsgate, and actually some non-Comicsgate books too, as well.
Yeah, I think it's just Indiegogo this year.
Yeah, and so we've got Graveyard Shift 3 and like Moonshine said, Creed, Imaginary. The thing I find amazing about this is, so there's currently 103 projects, but if we scroll down, only the top 31 have made over $10,000. So that means there's nearly close to over 70 books that have all made under 10K. And I don't know.
There's Dame Game at 35. So that means there's almost 70 have made less than Dame Game.
That's right. Dame Gang's moving up in the world. There's Matt Krotz, Wild Wild Tales of Kiri. I encourage everyone to go check that out if you're watching and you haven't backed it already. Matt
Yeah,
Cross,
if you're like
he does
these
good
team up superhero books are not your thing, Wild Tales is a completely different beast. So
Yeah,
if
we
you
will
like-
be doing a review.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like I'm not a comic book
Can
creator,
you
but
go?
I'd assume like would $10,000 be enough to put out a 40-page book full of art?
If you're the artist, probably.
We just keep going down. Oh, there's Shotgun
Mike?
Samurai.
Mike says similar success rate to Image Comics. That's an interesting little fact to know about how CG is doing.
Oh, it's Hunting Alice.
Yeah, we got Hunting Alice. We had Nasser a bit above.
It's in the top 10. Oh no.
Oh, you want to see the top 10, Amit?
Yeah, let's just go to the top 10 and see what we think. Does it deserve? People deserve this or not?
Okay, so we've got Graveyard Shift 3, the variant. We've got Trent Kanuga's Creed. Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. Groken by Kenneth Rocafort. Shadowbinders, I think, was the Clownfish TV book, but I could be wrong on
Yeah,
that.
correct,
that's a
yes.
Clownfish TV book. Yeah, that's a Clownfish.
Okay.
And it's a reprint. It's a
Yeah,
reprint.
it's just a reprint. Stealing Solo is just a reprint.
Rock and Roll Ninja.
Matt Barr is drawing that, which I
Yeah.
believe the first issue is done. So if you back that, I think you will get it shortly if you just do the first issue.
Then we have Supervillains Anonymous by Adam Friended. Thomas Valiant, I'm not familiar with, and Carmen America, Volume 3 by Mr. Tim Lim, who was in the chat earlier.
But that's
Yeah,
just
in
the
the-
Indiegogo component of it.
Yes, if I think the Kickstarter raised close to $80-something thousand, maybe even more. So that would be.
I'm
well
surprised
up
the
here.
majority of these books I have not backed. The top 10.
Groken. What the hell is Groken? I never even
That's
heard that.
Pat Rocafort, I think.
Actually, the only book in the top 10 that I backed was Carmen America, Volume 3. I haven't backed any of these above. And you can clearly notice a trend as well that, for example, Adam Friended, your boy Zach, World Class Bullshitters, Clownfish TV. It seems like a lot of the books are either large YouTube channels with large followings, or they're ex-established pros like John Malin, Trent Graham, and Kenneth Rocafort. So a lot of these little guys, it's getting harder and harder to break into this top 10. I mean, if we compared this to previous years, I think Monster MD and Shinobi Sasquatch, they have both raised 100,000 and 80,000. You had Ravage Kill All Men do, I think, around 50 or 60,000. So there would have been like general. Yeah, Fatal would be in there on 100,000. So you'd have these little guys that are really new to crowdfunding and making big bank. But this year there doesn't really seem to be much or any of them. They're all kind of, stuck down here now around the $20,000 mark.
Yeah, I don't know much about Thomas Valiant. Oh, Thomas Valiant did most of its money was on Kickstarter. That's why that was there.
Vicky says in the chat it's the Pareto, or I guess she means Pareto principle, which I think it means that 85% of funding goes to the top 20%. It's almost like a distribution. I could be wrong. I can't really remember that term. I remember seeing it somewhere.
Oh, well, I think it is like 20%, 80% of the work is done by 20% of the people in your organization.
And that wasn't a list of Comicsgate books. That was just a list of books, comic books launched on Indiegogo this year.
Yeah, there was a time, last year, where the top 10 Indiegogo books were all CG. That was also there. Apart from Jim Lee's Backpack, which snuck in.
Jim Hayes says crowdfunded books are not on a bookshelf to catch the customer's eye. Platforms have built-in method of catching the customer's attention regardless of the book's merit. Right. That's an implicit flaw, I think, in the model that we have for crowdfunding. There isn't a way to get the really good books visibility. You just have to assume that the ones that are featured on these channels or whose creators you like are going to be good.
Highlight Tim Lim's comment.
You
there.
never know what is a good.
I'm happy with our 100% fulfillment rate, no major YouTube platform, and celebrating 400 plus pages done in 2 years. Thanks, everyone.
That's
Thank you,
what's
Tim.
really interesting is because Tim and Mark, I think their YouTube channel has under 1,000 subs and they don't stream regularly, but they're absolutely crushing it right now with Carmen America and all these campaigns. They seem to be growing every time. So I'm not sure what the secret is, other than I guess hard work and happy backers.
Making a good product.
Yeah, making a good product, but they're definitely bucking the trend of the. You have to have 100,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel to get your book funded and do well.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing,
I mean,
Tim. It's working really well.
If you have a good way of indexing all the emails of all your backers that you do, and you keep engaging with those people and sending them newsletters and stuff, people will engage with you back.
So you think it's mailing lists, Amit? That's the secret.
Well, not mailing lists. It's getting data on people. If you know your backers, you get their email, you write to them, you talk to them. Engagement is a better word to put it.
Okay, engagement.
Because you could have the best product in the world, but if you don't even write your fans thank you letter, not many of them are going to come back.
Crimson says quality and consistency. Right.
Well, I think even if you get your book out quickly when your campaign launch, that doesn't matter if it takes over a year to get the book out. It's still, you have to wait the year, whether it's the campaign comes out somewhere in between, doesn't really matter. Because some people think, well, I won't launch my campaign until I'm done. But if you're putting more than a year between books, that's going to hurt you unless you got something real amazing, which obviously Ethan does because he keeps getting more money for Cyberfrog books. So if you can't build the hype like that, I think you really need to get your books out probably at least twice a year so you can keep bringing in the audience and keep their interest.
Yeah, and I think it's not too much asking people to do maybe 2 48-page books in a year. It's not that much work. I think it can be done.
You asked them how they are doing. How's the family? I hope you got that job promotion and they're doing well because of COVID stuff. Then tell them to back your Indiegogo.
I don't think I've ever received an email like that from a creator. To be honest, Vic, I'm not sure. I think most people would see through that.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah,
it might work on some people.
It's tough to nail down a really successful model, I think. It seems like everybody has their own recipe that seems to work for them. But if you come up with something that just can be generally applied, I don't know if anyone's really figured that out yet.
I mean, I'm going to say something controversial, but last year we had a creator called Liam Gray, and he did everything that you shouldn't do in a campaign, yet he made a decent amount of money. So I guess anybody can do it.
Ahmed is right. Engaging and talking to your customers is very, very important.
Well, Liam had the benefit. His final product was pretty good, except for one flaw in one of his editions.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying.
He did all the other parts wrong, but the final product was almost perfect. I mean,
that's what I was saying previously when we were looking at the Creator Go list. Like Liam Gray would have been another example I used of a guy on his first comic book with, I think he only had under 1,000 subs too when he started promoting Xenotype, just coming in and making 50, 60,000 US dollars, over 100,000 Australian dollars. But we just haven't seen any of these little guys basically kick in the door and make big money this year. It does seem like the funding is down across the board. And I'm wondering whether or not that $7.8 million tied up in unfulfilled books is having a large part of it.
What I'm curious is Kickstarter down? Because if Kickstarter's not down, then it's probably a purely CG problem.
Well, I know I've seen somewhere that 2020 Kickstarter was up by, I think, 30% for crowdfunded comic books. I don't know what the numbers are in 2021. I guess we'll have to wait until they report their numbers at the end of the year.
Looks like we have a confession from Alien Xenomorph. He says, sorry about all the dick pics.
Oh, so it wasn't.
Huh.
Wait
our
a
friend.
minute.
It wasn't Spirit Scar.
I thought it was Spirit Scar that was doing that. Alien
Oh.
Xenomorph, for shame,
I
sir.
apologize.
Interesting.
I apologize, Spirit.
I thought it was Well Red doing it.
No, I don't have too many. They're really hard to see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your tummy covers it. I get it.
It does, yeah. So you mostly just get feet.
Well, there's a lot of feet in CG.
I'm sure
I
I
don't
could
know
start-
if that's true, Crimson. I mean, maybe like half of it he got because of Ethan, but Liam did pretty good before Ethan really said anything about it.
Yeah, he had at least I think $20,000-$30,000 before
Yeah.
Ethan even touched him. So yeah, it's quite a lot. Yeah. Lunga, how are you? Nice to see you.
No dick
I'm doing
spirit
good.
scar, please.
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Hello, Spirit Scar. How are you?
Spirit.
Alien Xenomorph learned all
What's up,
this from
guys?
his time at War Campaign, apparently.
So, how is Isadora, Lunga?
Doing spectacularly well. It went up again just a little while ago. We're at 68 backers now. 36.46. I would be 68th on that list. Just under Hunting Alice with 25 days to go.
Too bad you're on Kickstarter.
And it's still succeeding, so that works for me.
I was gonna say, how do you don't get the money in Kickstarter until the campaign is over, right? Am I correct in that
Correct.
assumption?
Yes.
But that also means refunds don't hurt you in any way whatsoever, right?
Nope.
But you do have a failure rate, I'm guessing, right? When they tap your account, if people don't have the money, then yeah, that does affect the phone.
Well, yeah, obviously. The card, it does got to charge a card. They got to update the card and this and that. And I mean, there's pros and cons to both sites.
Well, I mean, as a backer, it's annoying because, like, when I back a book, I want you to charge my card then, not a month later. But
True. No, I get it, and I understand that that con of it. I'm not necessarily saying that is a great thing, but it does prevent the refund deal.
I never refund, so it doesn't matter
Well,
to me.
I didn't say you refunded. I'm just saying in general.
I don't know exactly what the relationship in Indiegogo has with CG. I always sense that there's hints of one, but I don't think they're any better at the SJW stuff than Kickstarter. I mean, they haven't actually kicked people yet, but they're
That's
pretty
smoke.
big advocates.
It's because
That's-
Zach was banned from Kickstarter when he was going to do Jawbreakers, and that was the first Comic Skate Indiegogo book or crowdfund book.
That's
Well,
He was
one of
banned
the
off
main-
Kickstarter, remember? So that was the whole
One of the-
catalyst.
One of the big differences I've seen talked about a lot is that on Indiegogo they allow you to open up a second campaign without fulfilling the first, whereas in Kickstarter you have to fulfill your campaign before you can fire up another one. I mean, I'm sure Lunga.
Is that a good? I mean, I think that's a good thing. I don't think you should open up a second campaign until you finish the first.
I do remember hearing somewhere though Indiegogo like freezes the funds. Like, so for example, if you had a campaign book 1 open and you haven't fulfilled it, and then you start funding for book 2, I don't think you receive the money for book 2 until book 1's marked as fulfilled. But you still can raise those funds. That are
Yeah, I
still-
think that's definitely true. I don't think you get the money if you have other unfulfilled campaign. So that's why sometimes you see people getting things out because they need the money from their newer campaign. So they try to, like, I think you have to like fulfill half at least or something.
Something like that. I mean, I'm not like not going to use Indiegogo. When this campaign ends, I am putting it up. Like I said before, I'm going to put it up in Indiegogo as a second chance campaign. And that one is literally, no risk for me because the first campaign will already be funded. So whatever, I could like set the limit for like 500 on Indiegogo. So whatever people do there, that's just, extra copies to send to the printer.
Well, the
So
biggest
I
benefit of
guess-
Indiegogo is you can have it as an online store afterwards, right? You can just leave that
Well,
open.
Yeah.
I can do that with BackerKit already.
I'd
that's an extra step.
I'd cite Tim Lim's approach to crowdfunding because I think it's actually the smartest approach. Is he'll launch on Kickstarter, and they do really well on Kickstarter. Like I think Black Ops AX Carmen America is like over $80,000 right now, and they'll probably launch on Indiegogo once that's done and judging from what they've done with Carmen America 3, it's like an extra 30 grand. So, like putting both those campaigns together, they're over 6 figures. So, if you can go on Kickstarter and raise a certain amount and then pick up some extra on Indiegogo with a different pool of customers, it seems like a wise move to me.
Right. And that's what I'm going to end up doing. As far as that extra step, Spirit Scar, for me, it's not an extra step because I already use BackerKit for my entire fulfillment because it allows me to purchase the shipping on there. It allows me to put every individual item as a SKU with its individual weight, so it automatically calculates everything for me. There's no thought for me.
I mean, for the customer, you egomaniac.
Oh, for the customer. Oh, you mean checkout? Oh, that's so hard. I'm sorry.
Here we go, folks. We're starting up the blood sports. You can feel it rising.
Considering I was just explaining to you how it works, I don't know what that has to do with my ego, but okay.
I have a third.
I meant for the customer. I meant as far as the customer is concerned, if a customer wants to buy a book, it's easy to go on the Indiegogo in-demand page and just buy it. Whereas then you're making an extra step with the BackerKit.
No. What I'm doing is making sure that shipping is done well, and I'm making sure that it is done efficiently. So that extra step is actually making sure that you get your book delivered on time and correctly.
Well, I hope you would make sure.
That's why I use it. Where are you going with this? Because that's why I use it to make sure. Yeah, exactly.
Can I say my
Sounds very efficient.
Yeah, I just want to say one point. I just wanted to confirm something. So people in CG, our standards is as long as they accept us, we will give them our money.
Except what? You broke up there.
Oh, I said as long as people accept us, like Indiegogo. The difference between Indiegogo and Kickstarter is Indiegogo accepts CG projects.
Oh,
That's
okay.
We don't want them to agree with us. Just like, we just want the bare minimum of let us exist.
But I mean,
Kickstarter had that Camilla Zong for years, so it's not difficult to understand why Comicsgate would be against Kickstarter, but she's gone now, so.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Zach was blocked before she was in charge, though.
So was Mike Miller.
Yeah, Mike Miller was. Although, yeah, I mean, I think they really didn't like that scene. But
yeah, I mean, I think it's on an individual basis. I doubt there's a blanket if you're CG.
I think
you can't go on Kickstarter.
I think if these books were on Kickstarter this year and never were seen before, they probably just fly through. I do agree with that. I think there was drama and tensions at that time, so they were probably put under pressure not to put these books on Kickstarter.
Yeah. And as far as customers go, I have absolutely no problem. Obviously, people have the right to choose whichever platform they want to buy from. Like you mentioned, Moonshine, that you want to do it in Indiegogo, and that's perfectly fine. I have no issue with that.
What did you say, Ahmed?
Lunga, do you accept Bitcoin as payment?
Well, considering it goes through Kickstarter and BackerKit, you'd have to ask them if they accept Bitcoin on it.
Oh, so you don't accept? Okay.
Yeah, you don't pay me directly. It goes through BackerKit on it.
We'll talk.
Cato the Younger says, I've heard rumors Indiegogo is going to limit active campaigns, and James Hayes says Indiegogo limiting active campaigns could really mess with Richard C. Meyer and EVS.
Well, what does Cato the Younger mean by limiting active campaigns? You mean limiting the amount that you have open at one time?
Yes, having to fulfill one before starting a new one.
Okay, yeah, because I think Indiegogo does have a pretty shady reputation when it comes to fulfillment, to be honest. I mean, if we look at the comic books, I backed Detective Dead. I'm never getting that book. And then I don't think the backers of Little Girl Lethal or what's the other one, Lady Alchemy, I don't think they're going to be seeing their books anytime soon either. So
Sovereign.
Sovereign, I guess, is ambiguous or up in the air. It might happen, it might not.
Can we also mention how the backer counts are skewed on Indiegogo? Because someone can back the same book 4, 5, 6 times. That counts as 4, 5, 6 backers on the count. So it looks like it has more backers than it does it when it's maybe, X amount of people to make it look like it's twice as much.
Yeah, so if a campaign had, say, 5,000 backers, but it was 2,500 people buying 2 different tiers, then it would show up as 5,000 backers when you've really only got 2,500 backing your campaign.
Vic, Mike's character wasn't beating up black people; he was beating up the M16 gang. So I mean, there was an ethnicity appearance, but I mean, it was really just because they were, a gang member.
Yeah, that's why I have a hard time comparing.
I wonder what the
Kickstarter
percentage rates
campaign.
are comparable of Kickstarter to Indiegogo. I wonder how they compare of unfulfilled comics.
Well, I mean, Mike put his Magnificent Seven comic on Kickstarter and had no problems. And Tim Lim's Carmen America has been described as patriotic, and I think Patriotica.
Because Mega 7 was shadow banned. You had to physically type the name in. You couldn't explore Indiegogo's comic section and find that book.
Yeah,
Right.
so Mike was censored for his MAGA book on Indiegogo, whereas on Kickstarter there was no issues at all. So yeah, I don't really know. I guess maybe it's a case by case basis, or whoever's like reviewing these books. But it does seem like, I mean, Indiegogo and Kickstarter, there's reasons for both, I guess, to use either or both, but they just seem both as bad as each other. But Earthworm Jim, like Doug TenNapel, like he's a pretty controversial character in the media. He's had no issues with Earthworm Jim on Kickstarter, so
Yeah. I was
it's
referring to
strange.
the rates of unfulfilled books, say on Indiegogo versus Kickstarter, like per percentage, what that would compare to.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
How
real
many-
way to figure that
I mean,
out.
Kickstarter has so many more
big.
books that it's
Yeah, you'd have to account for that number, but be interesting to compare.
Cato the Younger has a breaking news. Mike was censored at Biden's request. Oh no!
This was a bit before Biden, I think. Mega 7 had all kinds of issues. I had to go through the credit card company to ensure payment for a digital copy. Only book from Indiegogo that required that.
That's interesting.
Mike's a shady character.
No, he's not. Mike's fine. I like Mike Miller. I know a lot of people have strong opinions on him. I do admit that some of his takes are probably, not the best, but that's just Mike. You got to love him for who he is.
I don't see him. He
Yeah.
blocked me. I never see his chats unless they're highlighted.
Oh, really? He was in the chat earlier. He was watching. I don't know if he's still here. Mike, if you're watching, please unblock Spirit Scar. He's a good egg.
I'll comment, Mike, so you can unblock me. I know you're lurking.
And I'll tell you what, Mike. How about you unblock Spirit Scar and then you block Amit Rainer? I think that's an acceptable trade.
I have to agree with you.
Spirit Scar says, "Hi, Mike," and waves.
Yes. Yeah, I've always liked Mike too. I remember when that division occurred between him and EVS. I never took sides there, and I was still super chatting him on his show as both of them were fighting. So I've always
that
thought
fight
Mike was
was
a decent
stupid.
guy. All the internet fights are stupid.
I mean, I like
Yeah.
the fights with Doug TenNapel. They were entertaining. The Mike
Well, I mean,
Ethan fight just wasn't entertaining. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, I've never really played favorites with any of these creators when they have their falling outs. I mean, I still back Doug TenNapel. I still back Tim Lim. I still back John Dela Rose. I still back Ethan. If Liam puts out his books, I'll still back Liam. I think Lightning Shine are two of the only people who have openly said that when Liam Gray puts out another book, we plan on backing it for review.
Well,
I mean,
either it's good or it's horrible. It's win-win for us. So.
exactly. Yeah, I back anyone. I don't really fall into those factional camps. I mean, hell, I really disagree with what War Campaign was doing, and I still backed Vestige 1 and 2 to review. So,
I mean, Liam put out his book. He made a mistake, but I mean, I think he won't do that again. I think he was a little sloppy and lazy in that regard. But
yeah.
I
think the
just
only,
don't want him to do it again. I don't. 'Cause he did it, so.
I think the only creator that I would outright refuse to back based on their behavior is probably Tug. I don't know. I really don't like Tug, and his book looks terrible. So I've never planned on backing any of Tug's books. That might be a controversial opinion. I don't know how many Tug lovers we have in the chat.
I've heard a lot of negative
many.
things about him, but I wasn't there when all these things happened, so I'm not really intimately familiar with them. I never followed him that closely, or Weeb Wars, frankly, so don't know much about all that stuff.
He was around well before Weeb Wars, though, doing his thing in his corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was one of the first guys to have Mitch Breitweiser on.
Yeah, well, Tug used to promote a lot of the smaller creators. I remember he used to promote Cody Fernandez with Jack Irons. And I think he used to promote, I'm not sure if Tim Lim's was still with us, but I'm pretty sure the first time I saw Tim Lim was either on Tug or Flash's channel. And I think they were talking about either the Thump political satire book or maybe the first Black Ops. But yeah, it just seems Tug's, I don't know, he cares more about Johnny Depp now than comic books. He's chose his path.
He's got a year-long subscription to Teen Beat magazine. Johnny Depp posters all over his walls.
Amit Rayner asks, did the dog get Earthworm Jim 2 yet? I ordered 2 copies of Earthworm Jim 2, Amit. I got my leather-bound edition with the head sketches with 1 and 2. But then I also ordered just a reader's copy because I don't want to damage those higher tiered items. And the reader's copy was stolen out of the box. I've been communicating with Doug Tenaple. I think it's been like 2 months since I heard from him. I think he's having to reprint a whole bunch. So once that arrives, I'm sure we'll do a review of Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 if Well Read and Lightning Shine are still interested.
Yeah,
At
absolutely.
least it wasn't the nicer copy that was stolen.
Yeah, well, that's true. At least it wasn't I guess the UPS guy who stole it stole the wrong box, sucker.
Vic says, Tug has 100k views on his vids, can't get a single one of those to back his books. Always comes back, hail CG, Littlest Umbrella, $5 super chats. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of gave up, frankly, on all the small creators. There are just too many failed campaigns and got burned by them too many times that I think I just have maybe 2 or 3 that I'll back regularly, but everybody else, they really have to work hard to earn my trust and my backing at this point.
Did you back Shotgun Samurai?
No, I haven't backed any of the small creator books. So,
Well, what would you classify as work hard to earn your trust? How would you quantify that?
have a few successful campaigns and maybe no controversy surrounding any kind of doxing. I mean, the war campaign stuff left a really sour taste in my mouth. I mean, they were considered a good part of the CG community for a long time. And then all of a sudden they turn and suddenly they've got all this backer information that's, I don't know, it's being, it's available on the black market, I guess. That's the first place where Preston goes, for example, when he wants to get backers information, is straight to war campaign. I am a doomer, Amit. Sorry. I've been here too long. I've become jaded. So, but if they successfully fulfill a few campaigns, and I see them do that consistently without any problems with consumers, particularly the consumer service aspect, like what Oz did with Wiggle, for example, as another case where I'm really glad I refunded him, because I was the other person to back those stupid pins and expect an art piece from him until Liam flipped out on me. And then Wiggle doesn't even get his work from Oz, and he has to go on stream to, get it from him. Events like that really sour me on a lot of these campaigns, especially for first-time creators.
I'd say those are legitimate excuses, and it actually does seem to be getting worse. I mean, I watched Vicky and Dean's video, I think it was last week, and there does seem to be a lot of creators out there who are pretty loosey-goosey with the backer info. I mean, I think there was Preston who was looking for Testify in the war campaign chat, but you also had Skinny, who was actually like, I've backed Skinny before, like his first Otis Stein book, and I plan to back the second, but I probably won't be supporting him because he was also, I guess, talking about backer information in Preston's Discord. There was screenshots leaked of that where he was talking about offering money to find out who Testify was, and then there was also Larry Holder, I think, who won Preston's writing contest, and he was in the DMs of another creator, Rebel Comics Niobe Larry, asking who Testify was and if Larry, the Rebel Comics, had his information. So there's a number of creators that, in my opinion, I will never support again based on that behavior. If you're out there trying to find customer information because you're having an e-beef with somebody, like to dox them, that is a massive crowdfunding no-no for me. And if you think I'm going to back your book, you can get fucked. I mean, if I'm critical of Preston or Larry Holder or Skinny, are they going to start going around to other, like to Lunga or to anyone else trying to find out who I am? Like, fuck that.
It's kind of lame.
Trust is the most
It is.
important aspect in any transaction.
Yeah, that's not behavior, and especially like publicly doing it, like going into YouTube chats and talking about it in Discords where everyone can see it. That's really fucking stupid.
Yeah, and I was a big backer of all these projects, and now I have a channel. So does that put a target on my back now?
It does.
When I give people
Absolutely.
money. And Oz, frankly, he made that argument. He said, well, because Wiggle is on YouTube, he's doing gay ops against him, and he doesn't have to necessarily treat him as the same as any other customer. But just because he's on YouTube doesn't mean that his money is worth any less. And
Well,
so
he made
should
an
be
assumption that there was gay ops, but he didn't know.
well, I mean, the assumption is based on his YouTube activity. I mean, he should be afforded the same respect as any other customer.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's just that really selective, bizarro world customer service approach that some of these creators are practicing. It's going to take a while for people to earn my trust.
Yeah, I think when you
I've just been
couple,
burned too many times.
yeah, I think when you put it all together, like the $7.5 million or whatever it is in unfulfilled books, and then the very public books that you know that are never going to come out, like Little Girl Lethal, Detective Dead, and Lady Alchemy, and then like creators like the ones I previously mentioned out there, like hunting backer information so they can presumably dox people that are criticizing them on the internet, like that. All those things put together, and since this is the internet, and I guess comics crowdfunding it's very like social media driven. There's YouTube videos. It's like people's Twitters are always getting screenshot, and I guess on Kiwi Farm stuff is always being linked. This is all, I guess, having effect on customer confidence. So I think when you put all of that together, it might start to explain why things are kind of slowing down for certain creators and why it's such a struggle.
James Hayes says, Oz pretty much ruined himself with his 40-minute well-read video and talking about how his show was made to mock his audience.
Do you feel we were being mocked well read?
I don't know. I thought it was a hackneyed attempt at psychoanalysis. I mean, I'm just a freaking avatar and some guy who makes comments on the internet. I didn't like that a lot of the basis for his assumptions about me were stemming from his views on comic collectors as a whole. He was saying, oh, comic book people, they're loners and they're on the spectrum and so many of them are whatever. So well-read must be one of those. Like, that's really kind of some specious reasoning there.
It's a low effort.
Yeah, and then to just say, well, because all these lowly comic collectors are all sickos and freaks, if one of them happens to pop up and get in my face, is anyone surprised? I mean, he's trying to sell to this audience, isn't he? And then he degrades them all in such a generalized way.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this the other night. He never really cared about anyone.
Yeah,
anyone
well,
involved with that show.
I think Oz really did drop the ball with Wiggle Wiggle. I mean, I was actually, I'm not sure how Moonshine was feeling, but I was gonna probably back Oz just because he's an Australian creator. I've spoken to him before. I liked him well enough, and didn't really have a problem with him, and the postage would have been low, so I probably would have backed his book. And I guess if Moonshine backed it, we probably would have talked about it on this show. But after the customer service with Wiggle Wiggle, I'm not backing Oz, and I don't give a shit about his book. So
I was planning to promote him on the channel. I always had a good impression of him, and then he's making 40-minute videos about me because I told him that he needs to respect his customers.
He had all of our goodwill, and we all would have promoted him, and then he squandered all that.
Yeah, So too many examples like that, unfortunately. Liam is another, of course. I'll never back anything he does. I don't care how great it looks. So I don't know, that list keeps thinning out. I'll back Ethan, Malin, and Mike with whatever they do, just because I like seeing those guys succeed. But it takes a little bit of time for me to add more names to that list. So
Yeah.
that's just me, guys. Don't
about,
listen to my opinion.
What
I'm
about
just
Art
one
to
person.
Bear? Well read.
I like art. I just haven't seen anything that I wanted to back from him. Like I got the first Black and White. I didn't get Chrono Mechanics. I think he's doing a sequel to Black and White next. I might pick that
Yeah,
up.
that's what he's doing now.
Yeah. No, Art is a good guy.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. They had a lot of goodwill and they had a very supportive community. And I mean, I'm just one person. I'm not saying everybody's going to feel this way, but if I'm having those experiences, surely other people must be seeing them gradually as well.
Well, the thing is, as a customer, if you're watching, and this is where I do think Oz really did drop the ball with Wiggle Wiggle. If you're a customer and you're watching a creator argue with another customer and accusing them of gay ops and basically degrading them while this customer's telling you, like, well, I didn't get my stuff. Like, here's the proof I didn't get my stuff. Here's our email exchanges. And Oz's story kept changing from, well, it was sent to a PO box. And then Wiggle says, well, I don't have a PO box. And then Oz was saying, well, no, it was delivered to your doorstep because we have a photo of your doorstep from the UPS. It's just like, well, which is it, dude? Your story's kind of changing here. Like, Wiggle's story is consistent, that he didn't get his stuff, but your excuses just were jumping from like different excuses. So that's what really sussed me out on Oz. I don't think Oz like did anything malicious. Like, I'm not going to accuse him of not deliberately sending the stuff to Wiggle Wiggle, but maybe, I don't know, like he put the address in wrong, or it got sent to the wrong place, or something like that. But his refusal to rectify the situation and explain himself adequately, as a customer, like watching it, you're just like, well, this is all a little bit shady. I mean, I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah. So sorry, Lunga. The community's been soured a little bit.
Oh, I was just clarification. Appreciate it.
You just gotta be more badass. Make a buck everyone wants.
Darth Lunga, who's on our panel right now, below, is crowdfunding on Kickstarter right now, Ilsadora 2 and the Immortal Chains Part 2. He has a history of fulfillment. He has fulfilled a book and a novel too, right before that. So you have two successfully fulfilled crowdfunding campaigns. So I backed Ilsadora 2. I'm sure we plan on reviewing it on this show at some point. So yeah, give him a shot. I think Lunga's earned your trust. I don't think he's going to grab the money and run. So
No. No.
And you're fulfilled, so that's great. 68 backers.
Yep, we hit it yesterday morning, and it's going a little bit since then too. So I got one thing from I didn't have in my first two campaigns, is that dreaded middle ground of the campaign, which smaller campaigns have to deal with, where there's like no movement for like in the middle of the campaign at all. You get like the big jump in the first 3 days and the big jump in the last 3 days. In the middle, nothing happens. But since the campaign started, we're almost 12 days into it. Every day there's been some movement on it. So that's a very heartening thing to have.
Only 9 days left?
No. Only 9 left. If you read.
Oh, 9 left. Sorry, yeah.
Of the issue 1, because I had 20 of those left. People were asking about issue 1, and for my campaign promise from the first one, I wasn't going to do any reprints. So it was going to just be just for the backers. But I did have 20 left for my own collection and posterity. So I decided to, since some people were asking about it, put them up as an add-on for issue 1. So there was 20 when I started. When I did that update, there was 9 left. I think it's actually less than that now. Let me see where it's at right now. Yeah, it's down to 7. So there's only 7 of the issue 1 Samantha Branch covers left.
I really hope you do hit that 5,000 stretch goal for a Soyadora trading card.
Yeah.
I have all my trading cards like in sleeves in a folder, and I think Soyadora would look really nice next to my Cyber Frog trading card. So.
Yeah, it would. And when I send these out to people who get the first campaign, I put them in the the hard cases, the cards, the trading cards. You can get the whatever they're called, the hard cases. Not the flimsy little cellophane ones. But I put them in an actual card case too, and send them out that way. And this is they're holographic cards. I forgot to mention that, actually.
Holographic cards.
Yeah, it's still cardboard, but they're holographic. And that's what these cards are going to be. But I actually have a plan, because I was talking to, I forgot his name now, but there's someone who does CG stuff for CG. He does these metal holographic or metal cards for the trading cards that are front and back metal. And if we hit a certain amount, I'm going to make them all metal, but that's down the road after these stretch goals. Very
cool. I know I'm famous for hating bookmarks as stretch goals. I've gone on various shows ranting about bookmarks. I'll fully admit that trading cards are actually a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, one of my hobbies is collecting the old Wizard of the Coast Pokemon cards and rare cards. So I love trading cards.
I still have some from issue 1 left. Let me go grab one so you can see what it looks like. Hold on, because I never had a picture of them up there because I didn't have the cards in my hand when I did the first campaign. 1 second.
And that beautiful cover. Ethan Van Sciver actually praised that cover right there on Vicky and Dean's show. And
I like it
looks
also.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's a great cover.
Really good. Yeah.
It's a wraparound, right?
I have no idea why you're doing this Soy Rage card. Like, this thing is hideous, honestly.
We have someone in the back room called Buy My Shit.
Well, I know who that is. Hey, Ray.
Buy my book. It's Isadora.
That isn't Ray. That's Darth Lunga. He's back already.
Wait, am I saying double? There's 2 Lungas.
He's on camera. That's Lunga. Lunga, your camera's frozen. We can't see your trading card, sir.
Oh, hold on. Okay, is it better now?
I don't think so.
Buy my book, Isadora.
I've already backed it, sir.
Back it again.
Ray, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm bored. I'm bored.
And I'm bored. And I'm Lunga.
Oh no, there's 2 of them now. There's 2.
I'm the better looking one.
Real Lunga.
You're muted.
You're muted, Real Lunga.
Hey,
sorry. Let me see if I can recreate that. Hold on.
Other way. You gotta tilt your head the other way a little.
Oh, okay.
No, that way. Okay, that's creepy.
But yeah, here's the trading cards that I had here. Let me go.
Also, F you well read. That Soy Rage card is beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing.
I guess some people are into that.
Oh, can we get that full screen well read?
Sure. 1 sec.
Yeah, so they were.
It's hard to see.
Yeah. See.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful card. Very nice. Yeah, I like the extra effort people go with their cards, like holographic and foil, just to make them stand out. That's really
very nice.
That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So these were stretch goals for issue 1, and these were stretch goals for issue 1, and like I said, I put them in the good, the good case and everything for them. So there was 3 cards for issue 1. I can't find the Isadora one. There was an Isadora one. But so yeah, there was 3 cards for issue 1, and I'm planning. I got 3 cards for this one as well, but then a Soyadora card. So there's 4 cards. But yeah, so there are going to be cardboard cards like this with those stretch goals. But if we hit, I haven't decided on a number yet. I'll decide that if we hit the 4th stretch goal. If we hit a certain number, then I'll make these metal cards instead of cardboard.
Okay, well, if you want to keep your costs down and avoid metal and just go cardboard holographic, I'll certainly still be happy.
Coins with no stickers, guys. Coins with no stickers.
Oh, okay.
These were from the first campaign. They're not part of this campaign. I did have them as an add-on. I think there was like 10 of them or something like that for that. But yeah.
That's cool. I like it. You're giving them more
Like
than just
coins.
a comic. That's cool. I like it. Are you gonna print it backwards?
Print it backwards. Printed backwards.
Backwards.
Hey, Lung, are those pops behind you?
Yes.
You're a pop.
We have a question from Vic in the chat. He asks, how far are you into Isadora? When will it be ready to ship?
Right now we have 5 pages colored, close to 10 done, inked and penciled. It's a 24-page book, so it's going to be done by the end of the campaign or shortly after. My fulfillment date on Kickstarter I have for November, but I always make the fulfillment date much farther than what my date is for shipping. So I plan on. I'm also getting everything relettered, so I got to see how long the relettering takes. But my hope is that I'd actually try to get them shipped by late August, early September. That's my goal, to have them shipped out by then.
Okay, very cool.
Jazzcrab says your logo supports gay Iranians.
Oh, it does. It does.
Congratulations.
I didn't know. Does RC mean something?
Well, Red,
in
can you
Iranian?
highlight the Crimson's chat? Can you highlight the Crimson's chat,
Pop?
Red?
Pop means part of the problem.
No, it doesn't. Where's the T?
Oh.
Yeah. I liked this one, actually. Shinobi Sasquatch Greater Than Isadora. That's another example of a book I really liked early on. And I don't know if we're ever going to see it.
Yeah, if you get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know how books
is
gotten in a
it?
year
The
and a
hell
half
is
is better than the second issue of my book that the first one's already been
What the
fulfilled,
hell
but
is a
sure.
Shinobi Sasquatch though?
It's a book. Rob Willis, right? I mean, the art is
Yeah.
fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I mean, what we've seen of Rob Willis, we know he's a great artist.
No, I'm saying
but
like, what is a Shinobi Sasquatch? Like, is it actually
I don't know.
Sasquatch as a Shinobi?
I don't know
Yes,
anything what the
it
story's
is,
about.
Ray.
Is it really?
It's a Sasquatch who's a ninja, basically.
It's like a martial arts Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm not sure.
And I do want to mention too, because some people like to give Vic King shit. Vic King did the one cover for me, and I had him sign a contract when he did it, and he delivered it on time before the campaign launched.
Oh, I love Vic.
Done. And not only that, but the one tier I had on there was the original artwork. Vic hit for $300, and someone backed that one early on in the campaign. So you know what?
I love Vic though.
Some props.
Vic King's a good artist.
Well, I know there's been some issues with Vic in the past. He's had
Yeah,
some
well,
problems. But you know
I'm
what?
sure.
He's trying, and for this campaign, he did his job, and he did it well. So
By the way, Crimson, I have watched Ethan, but I stopped because he still has yet to pay my phone bill, and it's due. It's been due. It's actually late, so he has to pay the additional fees as well. So when he does it, I'll start watching again.
Maybe you should
Now,
send him a
Ray.
picture of your tits.
Oh,
Now-
What? Okay, Spirit.
Now-
What's up?
Ray, I noticed you in the chat earlier, and you were talking about some recent drama. Our chat notoriously hates our comic book reviews, but they love drama. So why don't you fill us in with what's going on with you? What's the latest drama in the geek community?
Okay,
What's
first of all, I didn't bring up the drama. You brought up you wanted the drama. Let's be clear.
Well, let's give us some drama, baby. Come on, lay it on us. What's happening?
Well,
out
Lung
there?
is also kind of partially involved with the drama.
oh, now you want me to talk
Oh.
about it? Nope. Nothing to do with it. Not talking
Longer,
about it. Nope.
Longer, and Ray both in
No.
drama.
She could have had me on her show if she wanted me to talk about it, but she didn't. So there's no reason she can explain it. Go ahead, Ray. You're the expert. Matter of fact, let me shut off my
I watched
camera.
Ray stream
Go ahead, Ray.
earlier,
Go
so I
ahead,
heard
Ray.
all this. I'm gonna go and drop out.
Go
Guys.
ahead, Ray.
No, you don't
Go
have
ahead.
to, Spirit Scar.
No,
I
he
mean,
can. Goodbye, Spirit Scar. See ya.
Don't leave me,
Bye.
Spirit. Spirit, don't leave me. You
Thank you.
asshole.
He left.
Good.
Well, I missed your video, Ray, so why don't you fill me in and probably I'm sure the majority of our chat who don't watch your garbage content. What's going on?
I was just kind of dropping some tea on a YouTuber named Andy Signore, and I was just kind of reading off some of the conversations I had that he has lied about, but he knows they exist.
A liar on YouTube?
I know.
Say
Imagine.
it ain't
God,
so, Ray.
I know it's awful, man. But
Now,
it's
Andy Andy Signore, that name's kind of familiar. I've heard it before. He's like a Star Wars YouTuber or something like that. Is he Phantom Menace?
No.
Don't put him in my... No, and he's not Phantom Menace. First of all, okay, apparently I gotta explain it. Ray, you're a fail. Okay. Andy Signore was actually a pretty big YouTuber back in the day. He was part of Screen Junkies, Honest Trailers, with a few other people over there. It was actually a huge channel. They were in the millions of subscribers, and he was actually quite well known in the YouTube sphere, if you will, when it comes to movies, just general movies and stuff, not nerdy science fiction, just general movies. And then he had a scandal 3 years ago, I think it was, where supposedly a woman that he was talking to online accused him of Me Too'd, basically, right? Yeah. And I guess supposedly it was proven false. She had to recant that it didn't happen, but the damage was done.
He got fired.
He got fired from Screen Junkies and everything, so his career was kind of killed really quickly there. Now, he was being kind of a slimeball. He was screwing around with girls online, and he did screw up his marriage because of it. Now, I don't judge people based on what they do in their own lives and their own marriage. It's their goddamn business.
Facts.
But that did happen to him, and a lot of people don't like him because of that. Well, then he did come back to make a new channel again. He tried to do a resurgence, and he came back with this whole, giving his side of the story and what happened, and people started coming back to him, and he grew his channel back up to over 100,000. But he's still kind of a slimeball, the way he treats people. So that's basically long short of what Andy Signore does now. But now his channel is all about drama. And let's just put it this way. If you want to know where he's trending now at this point, he's getting really buddy-buddy with people like Tug and Midnight's Edge. So that should give you that's probably why people think he's like a Star Wars-y channel, because he's kind of getting like... I think he's just trying to leech on some of their audience at this point.
No, he's 100% leeching on their audience, because I saw, he jumped on that whole Doomcock Ride thing, and he was on the stream with EVS and stuff, and I'm sitting there like... Oh, I saw EVS on there, and I'm like, oh, EVS, please stay clear of Andy Signore, EVS. You're so much better than that. I was like not happy. I saw my friend Echo Base over there. I was like, no, please don't let Andy get his claws into you, because he tried to basically gay op me. Andy did.
He does. He tries to gay up everyone.
Yeah.
Now, the reason how I came into this is that me and him kind of became friends, and that's why me and Saggy's friend Mad Max, who used to be my friend and co-host for a long time, we had a falling out because he was going after Andy and his friend Jody on this other channel called Jody's Corner. And I told Max, hey, can you cut it out? I'm like talking to them. I'm trying to make friends on YouTube here. You kind of
that means nothing.
Yeah, but at any point. He was, that happened, and then I became friends with Andy. I appeared on his show a few times, and with some other people, and things were kind of cool. But I was still hesitant. I know how this guy can act, so I kept it at an arm's length, kind of like the same thing I do with a certain yellow triangle head person when I was talking to him. And then he kind of lost his mind, and he was just being a dick, coming on my show and just like purposely trying to take it over and just doing a lot of shit. So finally on my show, he came in one night when we were doing a WandaVision review, and I literally on the stream told him, you can fuck off. Wait, that F word's allowed, right? Well, right, it's the other F word that isn't, correct? Okay.
Yeah, F-A and N words.
yeah, I know what you want.
Fudgicles? I like fudgicles.
Right. So I told him to fuck off and get the fuck out of here. I don't need your ass. I don't care about you. Go fuck yourself. And he wouldn't leave, so I finally kicked him from the stream, and then he came back in again just to say I'm a bully. So I told him, get the dude, go away. That's it. That's where my involvement came in. And since then, apparently, I'm part of another Whisper network. Saggy, is that fair to say? I'm part of another Whisper network that's trying to take him down.
Yeah, that's why they watching you. That's why they were watching you. And
they're watching me.
It sounds like the chat's following this, because Lord Finatra says Danny Fernandez, Me Too'd, Andy. Spirit Scar says the Andy Signore stuff was one of the very first Me Too cases, roughly the same time as Harvey Weinstein. And Villan had said Signore was disagreeing with EVS. So it sounds like people are familiar with him. I've only heard the name. I haven't really been following.
To be honest with you, before I got into being a YouTuber, I didn't even know who the hell he was, because I didn't
either. I didn't know
YouTubers,
either.
So.
And I was on a stream, and Andy showed up on that stream because there was some beef with people that I was on the stream with, and they were all fighting. And then I did a stream after that because I couldn't get my thoughts in because people were asking me to say my thoughts, and I couldn't even talk because they were yelling at each other. So I did my own stream. Matt Jarble hopped on because he was on that panel that night as well, so he wanted to talk about it. And then when Andy saw it or caught wind of it, he brought me into a group DM with him and his friend Paul, and was trying to like basically feed me information to bring up on my stream with Matt to kind of put Matt into a corner. And I didn't want to because I said, listen, this seems like personal stuff between you and him. This seems a little too deep, and I didn't feel comfortable bringing it up to Matt. It made me feel like, no, I didn't want to do it. So he said, well, send Paul the link. So he sent somebody else to do what I wasn't willing to do. And then he was calling me disingenuous after the fact because, like Lunga had told me earlier, like, oh, Andy never trust you. I'm like, well, if you didn't trust me, why were you in my DMs talking to me like we were cool and telling me all this stuff? And
you appeared on some stream with some dude that used to be his friend.
Yeah, I know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with me because I didn't even know that person. That person reached out to me and I didn't even know who he was.
Right. But that's the thing. If you appear, if this guy who talks stuff about me or Jody, if you're a friend of, not even his friend, if you're a friend of a friend of a friend of this person, you're disavowed.
Right. And yesterday, he did this to his friend, who was very loyal to him. This same Paul person that he brought me in a group chat with, he treated this person like crap because this person dared to question him, and the person did a 4-hour stream leaking all of his DMs with Andy. All of his DMs. They were juicy.
And unfortunately, even though I'm like done with this, I don't care about these people. Once I'm done with them, I'm done with them. And my name came up how many times? I mean, it came up quite a few times in that stream. And revealing all the gay ops they were trying to do to spy on me, which I never understood the whole spying on a video that's like not privated. Anyone can go watch it anytime. I don't get that, but okay.
Okay, well, I could not care less about all this drama with Andy Signore.
Thanks for making me talk about it.
But if our viewers do care, there's a link to Ray Saggy Melons' channel in the chat, and you can go watch.
Do you care about the Whisper Network, Smug?
Oh, that is a very striking T-shirt.
Do you care about the Whisper Network?
Well, I'm a part of the Whisper Network. That's the NWO, Ray. Or the WN.
For the record, though, Vilned, at least this was a drama that I actually knew what the hell I was talking about because I was directly involved. So you can't say that my drama was not one of those moments because that one was. I was involved in this thing.
But yeah, it's coming, guys. If you want to be a part of the Whisper Network, if you want to join, we're going mainstream, guys. We're going mainstream. This will be actually an add-on on Isadora coming soon.
I do want that shirt.
Yeah, it's a nice shirt.
And there's another one that's even better, but I'm waiting to show that one.
Is it 100% cotton? Is it a blend? Is it polyester?
Well, I mean, it's coming from Teespring, so I mean, there's multiple. The one to make it affordable, you know, I'm going to probably put the shirt up for $15, I think. For the affordable shirt, that's like just the regular standard tee. If people want like the tri blends, those cost more coming from there. But yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Jabba, I didn't ask to talk about it. Smug asked Ray.
I didn't either.
I brought it up. I brought it up.
Why do I'm getting blamed for shit I didn't even want to bring up? This motherfucker said it.
I didn't even want to explain it. Ray just fumbled it, so I had to pick it up. That's all.
I'm sorry, chat. I was curious. I apologize. I'll never ask questions again.
Yeah, don't, because then I get blamed for it.
I would like to remind everybody that the pinned comment is the StreamYard link if you'd like to join the show. I noticed we have Simple Jack and Lord Finatra in the chat. Why not come on and
no one cares about Lord Finatra. No, I'm just
tell
kidding.
Us a story. Well, I'd like to see how Lord Finatra is doing after showing a butthole several times last night on his stream.
He did what?
Subjecting. Well, there was a stream last night on Finatra's channel where he was EFAPing a video he had to take down. Where he got
on that stream.
Yeah,
my alarm didn't go off.
Oh no!
My God!
Yeah. Well, he streams at an ungodly hour. It's like 5 a.m. my time here, and I was up already until midnight doing it. I did like a 6-hour D&D stream last night, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, so you want to come on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll set an alarm. I'll take a nap, and I'll set an alarm." And the alarm didn't go off. I was like, "Oh fuck! I didn't hit the right one." I woke up at like 9 a.m. like, oh, yeah, I missed it.
Yes, there was. Well, you missed a black man's butthole longer, so
Well,
I think
guess,
it was good just
What the
I have no
hell,
regrets then.
Finatra? Wow, Finatra. You
It was-
shout,
it was
out,
quite a
shout
show.
out to Cato the Younger, by the way, my number one fan. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No, F off you, Finatra, showing booty holes on your stream, and I didn't even get a friggin' invite. You can go F yourself.
By the way, Finatra, I want to say it in voice. I apologize. I did oversleep. It's my bad.
No, he just didn't want to show up.
I was like,
He's
no,
lying.
man. I had this whole plan. That shirt I just showed, that was supposed to be shown on Finatra stream. God damn it! I had this whole fucking plan, and yeah.
I do believe Lord Finatra is dating the butthole guy. I 100% believe that. Have you seen Finatra? He just screams like he's a top.
Is the butthole guy Finatra in Black Butt?
Is he Black Button?
He's Black Button.
He's Black Button? Oh shoot.
Andy, Berserker 3 was a marked improvement, and people are now optimistic and excited for the series. Lord Finatra says, no problem, Lunga. So all's good. Yeah.
I'm glad that Will Red actually does read well. Sorry.
I try.
How was your day, Well Red? Was it good?
Shut up, Ray. Shut up, Ray.
You shut up, Smug. I'm talking to my new best friend.
I had a good
have
day.
any friends. People just tolerate you.
That's also true. Don't remind me. Thank you. Well,
It was
thank you,
Father's
Uncle.
Day. Father's
Oh,
Day
it was?
today, so I hope all the fathers had a good day today.
Are you a father, Well Red?
I am.
Did you do anything fun for Father's Day?
I took a nap, and I had lamb for dinner.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good Father's Day. Lamb's expensive too, so.
You guys had me worried. You guys had me worried about Father's Day. Turns out Father's Day in Australia is the 5th of September, so I don't feel bad about not visiting my dad.
I mean, you could still be like, "Hey, happy American Father's Day."
No, I don't think I will.
Well, then you're just a bad son.
Yes, I am a constant disappointment.
I worked on Father's Day, so I had to cater to all of the people getting alcohol for their fathers. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Get drunk and pass out.
Well, that's the perfect Father's Day.
Yeah, no, pretty much. I mean, we sold a lot of alcohol, but we always sell a lot of alcohol. I'm starting to feel guilty. Like I'm just catering to alcoholics. I'm part of the problem.
You are part of the problem.
I am. It's bad. But I needed a job, so I need the monies. And Smug isn't putting out anymore, so he took away my allowance recently, so
You got to open up the OnlyFans, Ray. You got to earn that money.
yeah, we will. I thought the OnlyFans meant like only you, and now you want me to like open it up to only everybody else, and I just wasn't down for that, so you stopped paying me.
Gonna pimp you out.
Yeah, that was the thing, and so he kind of cut me off, so I've been kind of struggling for funds lately because of Smug.
It's always my fault.
It is
Well, he
always
has
your
a-
fault.
He has important comic books that he has to purchase for this review show, so he's got commitments.
I mean, that's also true. I won't take away from his commitments here.
Speaking of the review show, this Thursday, well read, have we decided? Is it Starblades or is it something else?
I guess it's Starblades. That's going to be the one that generates the most interest, so everybody can look forward to that. And hopefully we'll also get to talk about Tomahawk Angel a little bit. Catch up with that project.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll include that on the thumbnail.
I want to make a comic book. Will you review my comic book?
What kind of book are you going to be doing, Ray?
I'm going to do a story. It's going to be called Saggy Melons, and she's a ninja with very large breasts. And because she has very large breasts, it makes it hard for her to do boob jitsu.
All right, then.
That sounds,
Yeah.
I'd back that. Why not?
Well, I
7 to 10?
I
7 to 10?
think I was talking to Billy Bosco about a story called Saggy Melons. And the story actually is the opposite. She comes from a ninja tribe, and they have this art style called boob jitsu. and she doesn't have big breasts, so her boob jitsu isn't as strong as the others. So, but
Right, you know, I know artists. We can make this happen. You know,
the rival clan, group of men take out the female ninjas with the boob jitsu, and Saggy Melon's the one that doesn't have the big breasts, is the only one who survived the attack. And then she finds a way to have fake boobs, and they're saggy, but they that's how she does her boob jitsu. It was a whole funny story arc I came up with.
I don't think I know what super fun toys are.
Super fun toy.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't see Asian super fun toy? Super Asian fun toy? Oh my god, hold on. I didn't know you didn't know this existed. This is like the new hot thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I just signed up for it to get some free swag.
What is this super fun toy? I keep hearing about it. There's a lot of talk being generated about it.
I don't know. Something Soy Rage is spokesmodel for, or something.
I'm more into this crack pack. How do I get some of that crack? I hear that's pretty good.
It's called DA Talks.
Yeah, no, he deals coke exclusively. I heard you have to speak to Lord Finatra if you want to get some crack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Finatra's a crackhead.
Jabba the Coach says this is actually worse than the review part. Oh, jeez, oh my god.
Glad to do this for you, Jabba. We are much glad to provide the entertainment you don't want.
Jabba's not happy unless people are shouting at each other. I can't imagine what's going on in Jabba's mind when he's sitting at home, just constant yelling.
His neighbors call the cops.
Were you a big fan of the Jerry Springer show, Jabba? You like seeing the Klansmen throw chairs at Black Panthers and Black Panthers throw whatever, Uzis at them?
I don't think it was Uzis, but...
I don't know.
What show is
carriages.
This?
Jerry Springer.
They had baby carriages on Jerry Springer?
Yeah, they used to have baby daddy reveals, hate groups on stage together so that they could get into big fights. Yeah, of course Jabba was a fan. Yeah, that was good.
I have a German internet friend, and I recently found out that he loves all those trash American television shows like Jerry Springer and all of that.
I wonder who that German American friend could be.
Well, he's the only one German American friend.
German pretty sure I know who it is then. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
He's the only German friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake was good. Sally Jesse Raphael.
Oh my gosh, Maury Povich. Who's
the one that got canceled? Oh, Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
There was Jenny Jones. Jenny. I think it was Jenny Jones, but her show got canceled because one of her guests murdered somebody.
And then the millennials grew up with Tyra Banks. I think she was like, it wasn't the same, but kind of showing people, I don't know, dysfunctional, acting like they're trying to help them, but just exploiting them.
Oh my God! Can we go back to talking about crowdfunding numbers or Andy Signore? This is horrible.
Morton Downey Jr. was the only good one.
Hammer of Doom says Judge Judy. I used to watch Judge Judy.
Didn't this man just tell us to stop talking about it? He just jumped right in. You're so disingenuous, Smug.
I thought you were going to share something with us, Ray, for super.
I'm looking for it, to be honest with you. I was looking for it, but hold on, I'll just show you the Twitter. Hold on. I got
you. Yeah, what's this stupid, super happy, fun?
First of all, stop calling it stupid. It's very serious and very important to Comicsgate, apparently, which I have nothing to do with because I don't know Comicsgate. But this seems pretty cute. So look, they got videos, they got merchandise.
What is this?
Yes, this is the Twitter page. Look at Soy Rage's beautiful face on the thing. That's Soy Rage, and they got merchandise, Comicsgate merchandise. This looks legit. I don't know who this is and who spends all this money, but it's pretty interesting. They're on Indiegogo. They got the socks. Look, the leg wear. Look at they literally have it ready to
Wait, what the fuck is this?
This is
Yeah.
legit.
I don't want any of this stuff. What is this?
Why it's I don't know, but it's comics.
This looks
Hail
like...
chat, hail the chat. I don't know.
Oh
What
my
this is.
god.
Look
Look,
at
it's like-
that amazing amphibious android, our hero for tomorrow.
Can we just fast
Yeah.
forward and fill a landfill with this stuff already?
For
Look
those
at-
of you guys that want that Cyberfrog feel, but just quite can't, you find yourself in dire straits financially, and you just can't, afford it. This is the next best thing.
Here's the thing that's killing me, right? This is legit. Somebody literally is spending a lot of money on this merchandise. Like, look, they got specialized wrapping for these.
What the fuck?
They have authentication.
By the way, there's a disclaimer. Keep the wrapping away from small children. Just keep the wrapping away.
Like, look at how nice that looks. This is more effort and more time and money invested in a project that's clearly not legit. Look at how amazing these certificates look.
Now, well, since a certain individual claims to hold the Comicsgate trademark, I mean, is this Preston bankrolling this? Who's making this crap?
No. Soy Rage has been selected as the official spokesperson.
Yeah. Look, this is legit.
It's legit fucking garbage.
Oh, here's a
How
little.
dare you? How dare you, Smug? How dare you disparage this tremendous merchandise?
This is
that's
this
made
is even-
affordable for the everyman. Come on, how
Right.
how can
Everyman.
you? Yes.
This is even worse than the tchotchkes you get in the freaking campaigns. Now it's just a store
Listen,
full of
I
tchotchkes.
miss bookmarks.
Look at the
I
socks. Look
miss
at
Look at
that.
that,
I
look
do.
at that, look at them.
I
Shwomp,
miss the bookmarks.
Look,
shwomp,
look at the
shwomp.
sock.
Look at that, folds
Look
it
at
for him and everything. Look at that. Look at beautiful.
That's amazing. It's beautiful.
Look at that. That's a professional, or maybe you don't know what a professional organization is in Australia, Smug. Okay, but this
is
is a
legit.
professional organization that
This
is
looks
making
like-
your
this looks like
near
bootleg.
Comicsgate like stuff. How?
This
No,
looks like
that's
a
not the word we use. That's not the word
Chinese
we use.
sweatshop.
We use affordable alternatives. That's the word that's
Look
used.
at how much stuff he
We-
has. Like,
It's not bootleg. Affordable
We
alternatives.
took resources out of the ground to make
Look.
this fucking crap.
look,
Affordable
Look at
alternatives, Smug.
look at this. All these socks, bro. This is like a legit thing happening, and I don't
I
know
don't
why.
fucking
but
care
I'm-
about socks,
Look at-
Ray. I
look, they're
care
beautiful.
less about socks than I do bookmarks.
Look, they're beautiful. How could you not like those? They're my color too.
Look
black
at
and
show
red.
that sticker again. Show that sticker again. Look at the beauty of this
Wait,
sticker.
with the
Look how
sticker?
beautiful
Oh,
it is. Yeah.
Wait,
I've
let me go
got
down.
I've got a shoebox full of fucking stickers.
Look
what
at
am I
the shop,
supposed
but
to
you
stick them
don't
on?
have these stickers.
These
Smug.
stickers are amazing, Smug. Look at them. They're beautiful. Hold on, let's
They
get a
are,
better
they, are,
image.
they are kind of nice, but
See,
what am I
see,
going to
see,
do
see?
with them? What am I supposed
Yeah.
to do?
It
Put
doesn't
them on your
matter.
I mean,
laptop,
I'm not a
dude.
teenage girl in high school to put notebooks
You
on
can
these.
you
Put
can
'em on a
proudly
sticker.
stick those on your bumper of your car
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm definitely not doing
to
that.
to
Holy shit.
proudly
Look at it. Look at it.
display your Comicsgate pride.
I actually want to get laid at some point.
It might
I-
save you
I
a
don't
ticket.
need
Look
a
at the
Comicsgate.
reflectiveness. It could blind the cop behind you and not see
It's
your
been
license
a bit of
plate.
there's been a bit of a drought during this whole COVID thing, but I
Just-
would like to get laid again. I don't
Yeah.
need
Look at that
Comicsgate
cat. Look at that
bumper
cat.
stickers.
That
You'll
cat
be-
is begging you. It's begging you.
You'll be getting hit on by the wrong sex with those bumper stickers.
Yeah, I don't
Look,
want to have
it's
to. I don't want to
beautiful.
have to explain to the
What
meth
are you
addict I
trying to
met
say?
at
Are
the
you calling
pub
Comicsgate fans
what
gay?
Comicsgate
Is that
when
what
I'm
you're saying,
driving her
Wellred?
when I'm driving her home back to my place. To do
Are you
the bad
calling
thing.
Comicsgate fans gay, Wellred? Is that what you're doing?
I'm calling those stickers a little gay, yes.
But those are Comicsgate
Well, the
stickers.
woman, there was a woman holding the sticker. Didn't you see the nail polish? That was a female.
So, is Soy a hand model for these? Is that what's happening?
Maybe.
He is whatever they need him to be.
Oh no, Perth Comics. Don't be a hater, Smug. Come on, Perth. You can't tell me
See?
you're gonna.
See?
Oh, what is this? What's
See?
wrong
Thank
with
you,
all
Perth.
of you?
Tell him, Perth.
What is wrong?
Tell him.
Am I
Tell
am I
him.
the last sane person in the world? What is this fucking crap?
Tell him, Perth.
Smug, I think
They're
you
drinking
need to
the Kool-Aid.
stop being. Yeah, stop drinking the haterade and relax. It's a beautiful thing, and you should just get behind it.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to
Or in
link
front of it. Yes! Sorry, Stu's not here. Soy's Brady's not here.
Did you just do a stew thing?
Someone has to say it. He's not here.
Yeah, but it wasn't you. That was not the right choice.
I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills.
Well, here,
no one else. Am I the only person who thinks
Here, I'll link it. I'll link it here in the back if you want to share it with the audience to let them know they can also get their.
Oh my god! Yeah, okay, guys. Here's the link to the super fun Asia Happy Comicsgate toys. It's in the chat there. If you want to buy your stupid stickers, go for it.
We're sorry we did this to you, audience.
I agree.
Nothing to be sorry about. How dare
I agree with Jabba. This is the worst fucking War Red stream, and we've had some real stinkers in the past. Some real fucking stinkers. This is the worst one by far.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a talk with the CEO and Soy because Smug. I don't know if he's gonna appreciate this kind of. I thought you were his friend, Smug. I thought you were his friend.
I know. Aren't you supposed to support? Aren't we supposed to be supporting Soy Rage in all his ventures, and you're just dogging on his latest project? What kind of friend are you? What are you, Andy Signore?
I support Stu. I don't support Soy Rage. They're different people. Soy Rage is weird and creepy.
What? How dare you? How dare you?
Kato the Younger
so
says,
mean.
not surprised Lungus promoting this gayness.
Well, hey, you know what? Do what you gotta do.
Have you not seen the man's purple hair that everyone likes to talk about?
That's right.
The stream is
Crimson
the dumbest.
said-
That comment was the dumbest. Sorry.
No, I agree with Crimson. This is horrifying. This is how I'm spending my Monday afternoon.
Do you have
Talking about comics.
bisexual lighting as well, Lunga? Jazz Crab.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess purple is bisexual now. It's no longer allowed. Purple's been canceled, guys.
I think I got bit by something. What the fuck? Did I get bit by a spider?
Well, I hope so. Anyway.
You're evil. I hope your little puppy penis falls off.
Well, according to Amit, they already took it.
Neutered.
But, however, this has been fun and all, and I would love to stay on here and talk about bootleg Chinese-made super happy fun Asia Fun Time toys incorporated with you. But I think I'm going to go.
No, stay.
You're done? You're done already?
No,
yeah,
stay.
I think I'm done.
No, stay,
Yeah.
Smug. You're beautiful.
The stream is done. Definitely.
No, we're red. Stay. You're beautiful.
The stream is death.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should private this stream afterwards too, Well Red. This is the most shameful thing.
Yeah.
What, Ray?
What? I'm sexy.
That looks like a Photoshop.
Is that a
No,
Super
that's-
Agent
It's
Fun
Tommy
toy?
freaking Tellerico. She put
No,
her
it's
face.
not. No, it's not.
It might as well be.
No, it's not.
Might as well be.
It's not.
Simp.
Is Soy going to be showing
It's this
that next?
dude.
Whoever the hell this dude is.
Wait, don't see. You're already making false accusations. No wonder why you have no credibility in this community longer.
You know what, Crimson?
None
I think I will save myself. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you the same
Yo,
time
Smug.
Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Around then, Starblades by Kyle Ritter in all caps comics. But I've got to go and do anything else. I'll see you
Wall
later.
incoming. Wall incoming,
Later,
Smug.
Pig.
The wall is incoming.
All right, with that, I told you at the start to not start this stream. Jabba, you were right. You saw into the future, and it was this stream. And now it must die. It's horrible death. Lunga,
Yes, sir.
congrats on the campaign and funding.
Thank you.
I think we've been dropping your link for your show, so people can catch you on your channel.
Thank you.
Anytime during the week, so people should look forward to more content from you.
Evening, we're the Inappropriate After Hours stream. It's getting a rebrand. The Whisper Network is coming, guys. The Whisper Network is coming. Be prepared.
Cool. Well, we'll look forward to that. So, have a good night. Ray, would you like to say a few closing words?
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. So, that's the show for today. We did our best. But it is what it is. So Thursday we'll have another review show. I'm hoping to get another music stream up pretty soon. I'm just waiting for a few pieces. I've reached out to a couple of artists, and as soon as those are available, I'll have a music draw stream to share with all of you. So until then, have a good night. I hope you had a good time, and see you back here on Thursday for our review of Starblades. Until then, have a good time, and we'll see you then. Take care.